Good morning, good afternoon, and good evening, everyone, wherever you're at in the world. Welcome to Last Raps Baseball's live commentary of the DuPont Professional Baseball League. Tonight, we are going to bring to you from the home of the Saitama Seibu Lions. It is going to be the Orix Buffaloes and the Saitama Seibu Lions in the final game of their three-game set, the sixth game for both of these ball clubs. And first of all, we're going to give you the starting lineups for the visitors from Osaka. Leading off and playing in center field wearing number 1 is Shuhei Fukuda. Batting second at third base is number 5, Masahiro Nishino. Hanging in the 3 spot and playing in left field is Ryoma Nishikawa. Batting in the cleanup spot and playing first base is number 40, Leandro Cedeno. Batting fifth and doing the designated hitting is number 4, Tomoya Mori. Batting sixth and playing second base is number 31, Ryo Oda. In the 7th spot and playing shortstop tonight is number 3, Ryo Adachi. Batting 8th in right field wearing number 0 is Ryo Watanabe. And batting 9th and doing the catching, number 2, Kenya Wakatsuki. And they are going to be facing Bo Takahashi, who takes to the hill tonight. Be his first start for the Lions here, and he is a right-hander who is going to be one that is going to have to make sure he controls the strike zone tonight. We talked a little bit about this. We did our picks in a little bit of a hasty way today as we were out of town and had to be able to get that done. And we said the key tonight to success is going to be Bo Takahashi's control. Can he throw enough strikes? Can he keep the walks down? But I'm not so sure that he'll be able to do that, although this Buffalo lineup looks a little bit on the thin side compared to what it should be. Now your starting lineup for the Saitama Seibu Lions, leading off and playing in right field wearing number 7 is Yuji Kaneko. Batting second and in left field is number 55, Franchi Cordero. Batting third and playing second base is number 5, Shuta Tonosaki. And the cleanup spot and playing first base is number 44, Jesus Aguiar. Batting fifth and doing the designated hitting tonight is number 60, Takiya Nakamura. Batting sixth at third base is number 10, Ryusi Sato. Batting in the 7th spot and in center field is number 51, Manaya Nishikawa. Batting in the 8th spot and doing the catching is number 22, Yuta Koga. And batting 9th and playing shortstop is number 6, Sosuke Genda. And they are going to be facing Kohei Ozuma, who's going to be making his first appearance of the year for the Buffaloes. So just a couple of news and notes as we are going to be doing this game. The first couple of innings, we're going to be without the what I call my A feed, as we will be looking here. So anybody who does come through into the chat or is listening in, we appreciate you guys when you are here. Unfortunately, I won't be able to peek in as quickly as I would like to. So for those of you who are joining us tonight, we are happy that you're going to be here for all of the action. So that is the starting lineups for this one here. And Takahashi's completed his warm-up tosses, and we are ready to get this one underway. It is evening baseball or early evening baseball if you are in North America. 9 o'clock on the Pacific Coast here. Midnight if you're on the Eastern time zone. And now we're ready to get this one underway. Takahashi ready to face the top of the order in Shuhei Fukuda. And the first pitch of the ball game is underway, and it is a fastball that misses upstairs, and the count is quickly 1-0 to Fukuda. Fukuda is 3 for 11 this year. He's batting .273 entering tonight's ball game. He's got nothing on the slash line. As Takahashi kicks and delivers, there's a fastball taken for a call and strike. The count now runs even at 1-1. The Saitama Seibu Lions off to a surprising start in a positive way. The Orix Buffaloes off to a surprising start in a negative way. There was a fastball swung on and fouled away. It's going to reach the seats behind the third base dugout, and the count goes to 1-2 on Fukuda. The Saitama Seibu Lions have made some changes. They lost a couple of players in the offseason. Here's the 1-2. Fastball swung on. It's tapped foul over on the third base side, and the count remains at 1-2 to Fukuda. Their star pitcher, Kona Takahashi, he wanted to be posted. He expressed his interest and desire to leave to go to Major League Baseball, but he is under team control, and the Lions declined that, as they do have control over the player still. Fastball swung on and fouled away, and the count remains at 1-2 to Fukuda. So 1 ball and 2 strikes it is. CV Baseball Card Collector in the house tonight. And as we mentioned, CV, we are working off our B feed right now for at least the first couple innings. We just got back in from out of town and wanted to get on the early game here tonight, which is a rarity in the NPB in the week. There's a breaking ball that is taken for a called third strike. It buckles the knees of Fukuda, and he stood there like the house by the side of the road, and he watched that go by for out number one. And so there's one Buffalo in the books here in the top of the first inning, and that's going to bring up the third baseman, Masahiro Nishino. As we mentioned tonight, just getting back into the groove, into the saddle here, as most of the evening was spent on a ferry. There's a first pitch fastball taken for a called strike, and the count is 0-1. Nishino batting from the left side. He is 2 for 7 to start the year. Had a hit in the opening game and was nowhere to be seen after that. And there's a fastball swung on. This ball is lifted into left field, camping out underneath it with plenty of room to make the catch is the left fielder, Franchi Cordero, and Nishino is down for out number 2. So 2 in the books, and that's going to leave it all up to the left fielder, Ryoma Nishikawa. Defensively tonight for the Lions, from left to right field, it is Franchi Cordero in left. The center fielder is Manaya Nishikawa with the right fielder of Yuji Kaneko. Around the horn, from first to third, the first baseman is Jesus Aguiar, as there's a fastball taken for a called strike, and the count is quickly 0-1 to Nishikawa. The second baseman is Shuta Tonosaki. The shortstop is Sosuke Genda, and the third baseman is Ryusi Sato, as that fastball is taken for a called strike, and the count now goes to 0-2. So no balls and 2 strikes to Nishikawa. 2 gone here in the top of the first inning. The Buffaloes are batting here. 0-2 on the way. Fastball misses outside, and the count runs to 1-2 on Nishikawa. Nishikawa batting from the left side. The acquisition in the offseason, the big free agent signing from the Hiroshima Carp, as he waits on the offering. And it's a breaking ball that misses down and in, and the count now goes to 2-2 on Nishikawa. So 2 balls and 2 strikes. He had the hopscotch out of the way on that one, as Takahashi's breaking ball had come inside. 12 pitchers for the Saitama right-hander so far in this inning. Fastball swung on it is grounded foul just past the first base bag. And that is going to keep the count at 2-2. He hit the ball hard. That ball was just a little bit straighter. It would have been trouble with Jesus Aguiar playing at first base there. I have to admit, I really do like the shots of the manager, Nakajima. He's got some of the best facial expressions in the NPB. Every time they pan in on him, he's always got this look, or he's got these different looks. And they seem to really capture him. You never know what goes on with some of the other managers, especially with Shinjo, who's always got his mask or balaclava pulled up over his face. Breaking ball swung on. This is grounded foul just past the first base bag, and we're going to do it all over again. So 2 balls and 2 strikes it is. Buffaloes and Lions here for some midweek action. 2 balls and 2 strikes. Late addition to our schedule, as we weren't really weren't sure if we were going to be able to make the call on this one or not. Here's the 2-2 pitch. Fastball swung on. It is lifted foul down the left field line. It's going to reach the seats. It keeps the count now at 2-2. So Ryoma Nishikawa going line to line here. So 2 balls and 2 strikes as Takahashi gets his sign from his catcher, Yutakoga. He rocks into the windup and delivers. Fastball swung on, and another one lifted foul, and now it's starting to turn into a bit of a battle here. We got an 8-pitch at bat already on our hands. That was actually a split finger pitch that didn't do much splitting. It stayed up in the zone. If Takahashi's not able to finish the pitch, that's going to cause some problems. Takahashi is sporting a blonde hairdo this year. He's got his hair trimmed a little bit short, and it is all blonde. So 2 balls and 2 strikes as the right-hander kicks and fires. Fastball swung on, chopped slowly past the pitcher, fielded by the shortstop Genda. He throws to first, and Nishikawa goes in the books on the ground out 6-3 for the third out of the inning. And that's going to do it here in the first inning for the Buffaloes. There was no runs, no hits, no errors, and nobody left aboard. We're through a half inning. Your score is Orix 0, and the Lions coming to bat. Stick around, everybody. We'll be back in just a few. Appreciate y'all for ducking in here with us tonight, whether you listen live or on delay. It's always great to have you with us. We'll be back in just a few minutes after this. Welcome back, everybody. We are moving to the bottom half of the first inning, and it is going to be Yuji Kaneko, Franchi Cordero, and Shuta Tonosaki to face the right-hander Kohei Azuma. Azuma made 4 appearances in the exhibition season, and he worked just over 16 innings. He really impressed us in the playoffs last year. He had an opportunity to pitch for the Buffaloes, and the power-throwing right-hander is just completing his warm-up tosses, and we're ready to get this one back underway. Kaneko, Cordero, and Tonosaki to face the right-hander here in the first inning. Buffaloes tonight wearing their white pants and their dark tops. I never can quite tell if it's black or navy. It looks like it is almost a navy. Even when in person, when I was there, I was like, is this navy? And gold to go with it. It is the Lions in their traditional home white uniforms, white pants, white tops, with the blue piping down the side. So Kaneko steps into the batter's box, ready to face the first offering from Azuma. And the first pitch is a fastball that misses outside for a ball. Count is 1-0. Batting 190 on the early going is Kaneko. Nothing on his slash line as the pitch is on the way. It's a breaking ball that misses inside and moves Kaneko off the plate. Count now goes to 2-0 on Yuji Kaneko. We've often said this before, that starting pitchers, normally in the first innings, that's when they have their struggles. And if they can settle down early, it could be a tough night at the office for everybody else. There's a fastball taken for a called strike, and the count goes to 2-1 on Kaneko. This is the only early game in the NPB tonight. All of the other games are going to be late affairs. Fastball swung on, grounded over to first base. A nice play on the backhand side by Leandro Cedeno as he falls to his knees, picks it up, and wins the race to the base. Kaneko is going to be retired on a ground out to 3 for the first out of the inning. That is going to bring up the left fielder, Franchi Cordero. And for Franchi Cordero, he gets the start in left field tonight. He has been pretty steady to begin his career in the NPB. This is his first year with the Saitama Seibu Lions. He bats from the left side as the first pitch from Azuma is a slow breaking ball that drops in for a called strike, and the count is 0-1. Cordero batting .278. He's 5 for 18. He's got no homers and 2 runs batted in. And he pitches a fastball that misses upstairs. The count now goes even to 1-1 on Cordero. So 1 ball and 1 strike. As the right-hander Azuma now kicks and delivers. Fastball swung on, grounded softly over to the left side of the infield, fielded by the third baseman Nishino, who's going to have to hurry, and he's able to get Cordero. That's going to go in the books as a ground out, 5-3. And Cordero is gone for the second out of the inning, and that is going to leave it up to the second baseman, Shuta Tonosaki. Defensively tonight for the Buffaloes, it's a little bit of a thinner lineup that we would be accustomed to seeing. Left fielder is Ryoma Nishikawa. The center fielder is Shuhei Fukuda. In right field, it is Ryo Watanabe. And then when we go around the horn from first to third, Cedeno is at first. The second baseman is Ryo Oda. The shortstop is Ryo Adachi. Masahiro Nishino at third with the battery of Azuma and Wakatsuki. First pitch is a breaking ball. It's taken for a called strike. Counts 0-1 to Tonosaki. Right-hander kicks and fires. Fastball misses down, and the count goes even to 1-1. Tonosaki off to a great start this year. He's batting .400 in the early going with no homers and 3 runs batted in. On last pitch by Azuma, it looked like he had slipped in his landing. There's a breaking ball waved at and missed, and the count now goes to 1-2. That was a really good off-speed pitch there by the right-hander. Very much a 12-6 curveball. And that ball just kind of fell off the table. A little bit loopy. As time has been called, as Tonosaki has asked for time, he wasn't set yet. Azuma was ready to go into the delivery. But now we're going to do this all over again. Here comes the 1-2 pitch as the right-hander kicks and fires. Fastball misses outside, and the count now goes to 2-2 on Tonosaki. Jason is in the house tonight, and as we mentioned to everybody, we are working off our B feed here for a bit, so we're not looking in on the calls here or on the chat as frequently. Fastball swung on and fouled away. It's going to reach the seats down the left field line, and the count is going to remain at 2-2 to Tonosaki. A rare Thursday afternoon and Saitama for this one, and it's a very healthy crowd. The only day game going on in the NPB today. A rare matinee game in the midweek. Here comes the 2-2 pitch as the right-hander works to the set. He kicks and fires. Fastball swung on, grounded over to third, fielded neatly by Nishino. He picks it up, he throws to first, and Tonosaki is in the books. That goes as a ground out, 5-3. And just like that, 3 up and 3 down here in the bottom of the first, and the Lions are out for their return at bat. No runs, no hits, no errors, and nobody left aboard. We are through one complete inning. It is the Buffaloes no score, the Lions no score. Stick around, everybody. We'll be back with the call at the top of the second when we return after this. Appreciate you guys for jumping in with us tonight. And as I said, we'll engage a little bit more in the chat in another, probably after the second or so inning, as we have to get some stuff taken care of at our end here. We'll be right back, everybody. Appreciate you guys for being here with us. And here is our friend Steve Rademacher.
This is Steve Rademacher, and I'd like to introduce you to my channel if you haven't seen it before. These are all the things I enjoy: sports, autographs, relics, non-sports Hall of Famers, pseudo-sports, Star Wars. That's my channel name and my name, and I would really appreciate it if you would come check me out and maybe even subscribe if you like it. Thank you for that for now, and back to your ball game.
Welcome back, everybody. It's going to be the heart of the Buffalo lineup to come to bat here in the top of the second inning. That means Leandro Cedeno, Tomoya Mori, and Ryo Oda to face the right-hander Bo Takahashi, who comes on for inning number 2 of his work tonight. We'd mentioned, as we said in the top half of the inning, we said the key to success tonight for Takahashi is to throw more strikes than balls, get ahead in counts, and keep the walks down. Pretty simple stuff. There's a fastball that misses upstairs, and the count is 1-0. Last season, he basically walked almost 4 batters per 9 innings. And so that is difficult when you're in that situation to be able to do that, to have success. Fastball delivered, taken at the knees for a called strike, and the count now is 1-1 to Leandro Cedeno. Cedeno on the season batting .385, a homer and 2 runs batted in, as the right-hander delivers a breaking ball that's waved at and missed, and now the count goes to 1-2. So 1 ball and 2 strikes to Leandro Cedeno. Right-hander Takahashi ready to go again. He gets the sign from his catcher, and he rocks into the windup and delivers a fastball swung on. It is lifted into shallow right center field. Drifting back on it and camping out underneath it is the second baseman, and that's going to be hauled in by Tonosaki. And with that, there are 1 gone here in the second inning. And that'll bring up the designated hitter, Tomoya Mori. We are yet to see a base runner in this game, as both pitchers have retired all of the batters that they have faced in the early going. And sometimes when you play a day game after a night game the day before, of course, there has been a number of changes in the lineup. Some of the players that may find it difficult to get themselves ready to go. Here comes the first offering to Moria. It's a fastball swung on. This ball is lifted into deep right center field. This ball could be trouble. Moving back onto the warning track, and up against the wall is the center fielder, Nishikawa, but he's there to haul it in. And that is going to retire Mori for the second out of the inning. So the former Lion took his former teammate to the deepest part of the ballpark in almost straightaway center field. He just didn't have enough juice to get it over the fence. So Nishikawa hauls that one in for the second out of the inning. That'll bring up the second baseman, Ryo Oda. One of my complaints with the Buffaloes manager this year, Nakajima, is that he has rolled out different lineups. There is very low level of consistency in the lineups he rolls out. It's not breaking ball is taken for a called strike, and the count is 0-1 to Oda. Oda 0 for 3 to begin the year this year. And he's got nothing on his slash line as he swings at a pitch and fouls that one away, and the count now goes to 0-2. So no balls and 2 strikes here to the right-handed hitting second baseman of the Buffaloes. Pitch on the way. Fastball misses upstairs, and the count now goes to 1-2 on Oda. So 1 ball and 2 strikes. I found it interesting last year that Takahashi just has Bo on the back of his jersey. Fastball swung on and grounded foul past the bag at third base. Count goes to 1-2. I always thought that the singular first names would be reserved for the players who are what I would consider to be superstars in their profession. And maybe in his mind, Bo Takahashi feels that he is there, but his numbers state otherwise. Sorry for the Lion fans who have to hear the truth. As that breaking ball misses down, and the count now goes to 2-2 on Oda. Should Oda reach base, it's Ryo Adachi who waits his turn on deck. As we said, there are changes aplenty in the lineup tonight. But I was talking about Nakajima a little bit and saying how he has moved a lot of his players around. As that fastball misses outside, and the count now goes to 3-2 on Oda. My frustration is that he often has many different lineups, a lot of different players, and there is a luxury of depth with the Buffaloes. But certainly hitters want to try to play every day because that keeps their timing. And when you look at their lineup versus, say, that of Fukuoka pretty much rolls the same 7-8 players every night. There's a fastball swung on, taken on one hop by the shortstop, Genda. He fires to first. Oda's going in the books on a ground out, 6-3. He's retired for the third out of the inning, and that's going to do it here for the Buffaloes in inning number 2. No runs, no hits, no errors, nobody left aboard. We're now through 1.5. Your score is the Buffaloes 0 and the Lions 0. We'll be back with the bottom of the second when we return after this. And once again, we appreciate everybody for listening in. Our friend Gordon G is in the house. We thank you for being here tonight as well. Hang tight, everybody. We'll be back in just a few. Welcome back, everybody. We are moving to the bottom half of the second inning. We are locked at zeros, and coming to bat here for the Saitama Seibu Lions will be the heart of their batting order. It'll be Jesus Aguiar, Takia Nakamura, and Ryusi Sato. As we had mentioned before, it is a midday matinee in Japan. It is a Thursday afternoon affair in Saitama. The only game on the slate in the early going. All the rest of the games will be a 6 o'clock p.m. local time or Japan time. Well, Jesus Aguiar steps to the plate. He's hitting .250 in the early going. He's got no homers and 4 runs driven in. Bats from the right side with a slightly open stance against Azuma, who delivers a first pitch fastball at the knees for a called strike, and the count is 0-1. Azuma threw 13 pitches in that first inning. He was able to get all 3 of the outs via the ground out. As Aguiar waits here, and the pitch on the way, it's a fastball that misses down and in, and the count now goes even to 1-1. So 1 ball and 1 strike. Only 5 games on the docket tonight across the NPB, as it is the night off for the Eagles and the Fighters, as that fastball misses down and away, and the count goes to 2-1. So a little quirk in the schedule, as those 2 teams will not be facing off against each other. Only a 2-game mini set. Here comes the 2-1 pitch. Breaking ball swung on, tapped softly down the third base line. Gonna have to hurry is the third baseman, Nishino. He fields it, he throws, and he makes the play. That is going to retire Aguiar. If it was anybody else running down the line, he may not have been able to make the play, but Aguiar does not run particularly well. He's retired for the first out of the inning. That's going to bring up the DH, Takeya Nakamura. I have to say, hats off to the third baseman, Nishino. He had to come a long way to have to get that ball. At the same time, Aguiar was really pushing it down the line. As we said, he's not fleet of foot. He's a big fella. So the first pitch to Takeya Nakamura is a fastball that backs him off the plate, and the count is 1-0. The big fella here, Nakamura, batting .214 in the early going. He's got nothing on his slash line. Fastball swung on and fouled off into the feet of the catcher, Wakatsuki. The count runs even to 1-1. So 1 ball and 1 strike. Both of the pitchers tonight, both Takahashi and Azuma, off to good starts. They've been around the zone. They have been keeping the hitters at bay. There is a breaking ball that is outside, but the home plate umpire goes up with the right hand as he felt that Takeya Nakamura offered at the pitch, and the count now goes to 1-2. So 1 ball and 2 strikes to Nakamura. Lions off to a solid start this year as the 1-2 is on the way. There's a fastball swung on and missed. Nakamura goes into the books for the first strikeout for Azuma tonight. So 2 up and 2 away here in the second inning, and that's going to leave it up to the third baseman, Ryusuke Sato. We're going to look at that replay. It was a 4-seam fastball. He walked the ladder. Yeah, the big fella Nakamura not able to catch up to it. So Sato steps to the plate, hitting from the right side, very upright stance. And the pitch is a slow breaking ball that turns him away, and the count is quickly 1-0 to Sato. Sato on the season, he is batting .400, but that's a bit deceiving. He is 2 for 5 in the early going, and nothing on his slash line. Fastball he takes for a called strike. It catches the outside corner, and the count runs even to 1-1. Both pitchers have done a pretty good job tonight so far in the early going of mixing their speeds and keeping the hitters off balance, working them inside and outside. As the 1-1 pitch is ready to come here to the right-handed hitting Ryusuke Sato. There's a fastball swung on. It's lifted into right field, moving over toward the foul line and making the catch is the right fielder Watanabe, and that is going to do it here. It's the first fly ball out tonight off the bats of the Lions. And Sato is gone for out number 3. Well, there was no runs in the inning. There were no hits. There were no errors, and there was nobody left aboard. We are now through 2 complete. Your score is the Lions nothing and the Buffaloes nothing. We'll be back with the top of the 3rd inning when we return right after this. Appreciate you guys for jumping in tonight, whether you listen live or on delay. We appreciate you guys for hanging with us tonight. Hang tight, everybody. Here's some sounds of the stadiums, and we'll come back in just a few. Welcome back, everybody. It is going to be the 7, 8, and 9 hitters to come to bat for the Buffaloes here in the top of the third inning, and that means it's going to be Ryo Adachi, Ryo Watanabe, and Kenya Wakatsuki. So 7, 8, and 9 to come to bat to face Takahashi here. As we mentioned tonight, we were working off of our B feed here for much of the first bit. We were back in the saddle. And now we have everything at our disposal, and as we said, we welcome everybody who is listening to us in the chat tonight. So now we can actually converse with you from time to time. The first pitch is a fastball delivered from Takahashi to Adachi, taken for a called strike, and the count is 0-1. So no balls and one strike. This is the first appearance for Adachi this season. There's a fastball taken for a called strike, and the count now goes to 0-2. Veteran right-handed stick. We have our friend Banjo in the house. He says, real Buffaloes ours. Probably so. Here comes the 0-2 pitch, as it is a fastball that just misses upstairs, and the count goes to 1-2. Being able to do this at a reasonable time, or at least in North America, as opposed to the 2 a.m. games. Anytime you can get a evening ball game or late start, or early start, I should say, in Japan, that makes it all better for us. Breaking ball misses down, and the count goes to 2-2 on Adachi. So 2 balls and 2 strikes. Right-hander Takahashi reaches for the rosin bag, ready to go back to work, as it's 2-2 here to Adachi. Gets these assigned from his catcher, Koga. And now Adachi feels he's taken too long, and he steps out of the batter's box, and we're going to do this all over again. We are going to do games on the weekend, and we might even slip one in tomorrow night. I have to take a peek at the schedule. It will be a 2 a.m. Pacific, 5 a.m. Eastern affair. So that breaking ball misses down and away, and the count goes to 3-2 on Adachi. So we will look to pick up some more games here on the weekend to give you guys the calls. Here's the 3-2 pitch. There's a fastball that just misses outside. That is going to be ball 4. And this game finally has its first base runner. And what do you know? It's a walk. That's what we said earlier tonight. The difference in this game, or the possibility of the difference in this game, might be Bo Takahashi's control. He had walked over 40 batters and just over 100 plus innings last year. And the challenge is for him to keep the walk rate down and to throw strikes. And to this point, he's been doing that tonight. So that is going to bring Ryo Watanabe to the plate. He is 0 for 3 this year. He gets the nod in right field tonight. So the speedster at the plate, he's already squaring the bunt. They throw over to first base. And getting back in time easily is the base runner Adachi. So that's where the Buffaloes must be thinking. Got to be thinking the bunts. And if you guys are interested in our predictions, we've been making them on the daily. And they are up on for tonight's game as well. There's a fastball that is taken for a ball that's inside, and it goes off the glove of Wakatsuki all the way to the backstop. So the sacrifice bunt does its job without having to do its job. He squared around, pulled back, and the ball went all the way to the signage behind home plate. That is going to advance Adachi to second. I'm going to have to see if it's a wild pitch or a pass ball. We'll get to look at it again. That's definitely a pass ball off the glove of the catcher. So the catcher, Koga, saw that ball deflect off his glove all the way to the backstop. So now they've got the runner at second base. We'll see if they keep the bunt on here, or if they're going to take it away. So here comes the offering now to Watanabe. A roll over to the right side would do the job. He does square again. He gets it down. It's going to be picked up by Takahashi. He throws to first. It's high. Oh, boy, that ball almost was destined to go into the right field corner, but a nice play by Jesus Aguiar. The big fella there with a lot of range. That's going to go down as a sacrifice, 5-3 on the putout. Or check that, 1-3 on the putout. I think it was Takahashi who made the play. So 1-3 on the putout. That's going to retire Watanabe for the first out. Adachi is now at third, and it's going to bring up the catcher, Kenya Wakatsuki. TYN in the house tonight. Appreciate you for popping in as well. I wouldn't bat an eye in this situation if we saw a safety squeeze here. TYN says, "Is it a holiday in Japan? Why are they playing the game now?" It's the only game on the slate today, and I don't believe it's a holiday in Japan. A rare matinee game that we can call here in a reasonable hour as that fastball swung on and fouled away, and the count is 0-1 to Wakatsuki. Wakatsuki 0 for 2 on the season. As I said, they have the infield in here as the Lions are concerned. Sometimes in games, early in the games, they might trade runs for outs, but I guess the Lions believe that this is going to be a close and low-scoring game, so they don't want to give the Buffaloes an opportunity for a run. Breaking ball misses outside. The count goes to 1-1. So 1 ball and 1 strike. Rare Japanese midweek action. Runner at third is Adachi. He reached base on balls, leadoff walk. Advanced to second on the pass ball and was sacked to third by Watanabe, and that's where we stand. Runner at third, 1 gone. 1-1 on the hitter. Breaking ball down. Nice block that time by Koga, and the count now goes to 2-1. In some ways, you think about that they do have first base open. If they walked Wakatsuki, would set up a double play, but Shuhei Fukuda, who's on deck, runs really well. And it may not be a situation there that would allow for them to be able to roll the double play if they wanted. So 2 balls and 1 strike it is. Wakatsuki waggling the bat as he stands in from the right side. Takahashi retired the first 6 batters he faced, and it's the bottom part of the order that's starting to give him a little bit of trouble here, as there's a breaking ball missing down and away, and the count goes to 3-1. So 3 balls and 1 strike. As we mentioned, we are going to be back on the airwaves again on the weekend, and we may slip another one in tomorrow. We'll have to make that decision and post it up, and likely we'll do that at the same time that we'll make the decision on the weekend games that we will call this weekend. Here comes the 3-1 pitch as the right-hander kicks and fires. Fastball swung on. This is lifted foul. Going to reach the seats well down the first baseline. Count now is full to Wakatsuki. But regardless, anytime we get an opportunity to call some midweek action, as we said, this is what we enjoy as well at a reasonable hour. So the right-hander Takahashi ready to go again as he leans in. He gets the sign from his catcher. Koga and he are in agreement. Here comes the 3-2 pitch. Fastball swung on. This ball is lifted into deep right field. It should be deep enough to get the run in. Moving back underneath it and making the catch is Kaneko, tagging at third and heading home. The throw comes in, but it's going to be late. That is going to be a sacrifice fly off the bat of Wakatsuki as he drives in the run here. Adachi scores the first run of the ball game, so the walks, as we talked about, come to haunt Adachi, as well as a pass ball. And a sacrifice bunt and a sacrifice fly have manufactured the first run of the ball game, and that's going to bring up the top of the order in Shuhei Fukuda. And for Fukuda tonight, he is 0 for 1. He was in the books via a strikeout, a called strike 3 to begin the ball game. So 0 for 1 tonight for Fukuda as the right-hander Takahashi kicks and delivers. Breaking ball just misses outside for ball 1. The count is 1-0. 3 for 12 on the season is Fukuda. His averages dip down to 250. There'll be wild swings early in the year with the batting averages of the players. They don't have a big enough sample size. Fastball swung on. This ball is lifted into left center field, and this ball is going to get down. It bounces. Oh, and there's a collision in left field. Cordero goes down. Then the center fielder ran into him, which was Manaya Nishikawa. So both of the players collided. Cordero, who's a bigger man than Nishikawa, he ended up hitting the deck. And cruising into second base is Fukuda. I'm not sure if there would have been a collision if he would have had a double or not, but certainly as soon as there was the contact, a great read there by Fukuda. We'll give him a double in our books. We'll watch that one again. He went the other way with it. The ball was able to drop down. And the next thing you know, what it looked like was, I would have to say, some poor route running, potentially in this case. Usually the center fielders may take an inside route to the ball. The corner outfielders may take an outside route to the ball. And what ended up happening was it looked like Cordero was actually running an outside route. And the center fielder at the last moment decided to do a Z route right into the left fielder. So here's the first pitch fastball delivered at the knees to Masahiro Nishino for a called strike. The count is 0-1. We'll have to see if they rule that as a hit or an error, but I'm pretty confident that's going to go into the books as definitely a hit. The question will be, is it of a single or a double variety? And if it is a single, then maybe the error will be charged to allow him to go to second base. Here's the 0-1. Fastball swung on, lifted down the left field line, and it's going to slice into the netting just by the bullpen area. And the count now is 0-2 to Nishino. So no balls and 2 strikes as Takahashi gets himself a new baseball to rub up. Top of the third inning. It is now a 1-0 ball game for the Orix Buffaloes as they have jumped in front here. And here comes the 0-2 pitch as Takahashi delivers. Fastball misses outside. The throw down to second, and they have picked Fukuda. Oh, boy. Let's see if they're going to go up and review this. And yes, Nakajima wants to have a look at this. That pitch was outside. It was definitely a ball. They threw down in behind, and they were able to tag the runner, but we're going to wait here for just a moment. I was watching the Houston Astros in the Blue Jay game last night, and some bonehead base running by the Astros in that game. 2 by Altuve, and 1, I think it was by Chas McCormick. Well, if this is going to retire Fukuda, you can chalk that up as some bonehead base running here. We'll get a look at the replay. So far, we're 1 for 1 on making the calls. I'll make the call here. Oh, boy. The throw was in time. The question will be whether the tag was able to reach the runner or not. And I'm going to say that he is safe. Right now, I am 1 for 1 this year on calls, on challenges. And I think this call is going to get overturned. The throw was in time. It was a poor tag in that situation by Shuta Tonosaki. They often tell you not to reach for the runner. Just take the glove to the bag because they have to get the base. And it looks like that he was possibly used a bit of a swim move to get around and avoid the tag. So I'm going to say this call is going to be overturned. But we'll have to wait for the umpires to make their decision here. And there's going to be a quick decision. Here they come. And they have come up, and it is safe. It's overturned, and I am now 2 for 2 on the season. So that is going to put 1 ball and 2 strikes to Nishino here. Shuhei Fukuda very lucky in this situation. So he is still alive, the runner at second. And by the way, just for your knowledge, no error charged to the outfielders on that collision. Straight up double by Fukuda to get himself to second base. So 1 ball and 2 strikes it is here to Nishino as he waits here on the pitch from Takahashi, who kicks and fires. Fastball, they throw again back down to second base. They tried it all over again. And again, getting back in time as the base runner. So 2 balls and 2 strikes now to Nishino. So Yuta Koga showing off a bit of a cannon. We've got the original man on the moon is back. And that is great to be there. He says it's Troll. There we go. Troll Zaddy, it sounds like. We appreciate you for being here if that is the case. So 2-2. As the right-hander Takahashi works himself to the set. Here's the pitch. Breaking ball swung on and lifted foul down the left field line, and the count is going to remain at 2-2. We haven't seen Alexander Leggett check in this year. He is one of the ones that was a regular in recent years. So curious to see if he's going to be making some guest appearances. Some of the regulars have already popped back in, and we're glad to have everybody with us. So 2 balls and 2 strikes as Nishino waits here on the pitch from Takahashi. As he kicks and delivers a fastball that just misses a little low. That's going to run the count to 3-2. So Takahashi, who cruised through the first 2 innings, retiring the first 6 batters that he faced, now he's got himself a little bit of a struggle going on here. Score is 1-0 for the Buffaloes as they have taken the lead here in the 3rd inning. There's 2 gone. It's a 3-2 count here to Nishino with Fukuda, the runner, at second. So stay with us, everybody, as you can listen in. We'll keep you up to date. The pitch on the way. It's a breaking ball, swung on, popped up on the infield. Over on the right side, moving over underneath it is Tonosaki. He's there, and he makes the catch. And that is going to retire Nishino for the 3rd out of the inning. Well, they got a run in the inning, did the Buffaloes, on the benefit of 1 hit. There were no errors and 1 runner left aboard. We're now moving to the bottom of the 3rd inning. Your score is the Buffaloes 1, the Lions no score. Stick around, everybody. We'll be back in just a few with all the action right after this.
Hello, this is Eric Fox, formerly of the Oakland A's and Texas Rangers baseball teams. If you want to learn about Japanese baseball, see Coach Fred of Last Raps Baseball. If you want baseball instruction, see Coach Fred. If you want to learn about golf, do not go to Coach Fred. Fred, what kind of club is this?
At Last Raps Baseball, we know baseball. Welcome back, everybody. We are moving to the bottom half of the 3rd inning, and it'll be the bottom 3rd of the batting order to come to bat to face the right-hander Kohei Azuma. That means it'll be Manaya Nishikawa, Yuta Koga, and Sosuke Genda to get things going here in the 3rd inning. The Buffaloes opened up the scoring in the top of the 3rd after a leadoff walk to Ryo Adachi, a pass ball, a sacrifice bunt, and a sacrifice fly, and that's called manufacturing a run, and it has given the Buffaloes a 1-0 lead. So Nishikawa is striding to the plate. He is batting .333 in the early going. He's 3 for 9. He's got no homers and an RBI. That's from the left side. He was the one involved in the collision in left center field with his left fielder, Franchi Cordero. Little communication issue between the 2 Lions. There's a breaking ball that misses down and in, and the count is 1-0. It was only 24 pitches in the first 2 innings for the right-hander Azuma, as he's ready to go again here as he kicks and delivers. Another breaking ball that misses down and in, and the count now goes to 2-0 on Nishikawa. Our friend Troll, or at least in this one, the original Man of the Moon, says, fundamental baseball, baby. Good fundamentals it is. Fastball taken for a called strike, and the count is 2-1. Ines Sicek in the house here. And for those of you who don't know, we always update our scoring at the bottom or the top of the innings, depending on how you look at it. Each half inning, once it's complete, we update our ticker. As there's a fastball taken for a called strike, and the count is 2-2. So 2 balls and 2 strikes to Manaya Nishikawa. The only early game going on in the NPDB is this one here tonight. And there's a fastball swung on it, is lifted down the left field line, and it's going to drift off into the seats. The count remains at 2-2 to Nishikawa. We are going to try, as we said, tomorrow to do a game in the middle of the night, but we will update our schedule for the weekend. Hopefully you can join us for all the action. There's a fastball swung on. It is lifted foul over on the left field line, and the count remains at 2-2 to Manaya Nishikawa. Yuta Koga and Sosuke Genda to follow here. As the right-hander Azuma kicks and delivers. Fastball swung on. This is lined up the middle for a base hit. And Nishikawa is aboard. That is the first base runner of the ball game here for the Lions. So he's aboard with a single, and that is going to bring up Yuta Koga to the plate. And for Koga in the early going, he's off to a very, very strong start. He's hitting .385 in the small sample size with a homer and a couple of runs batted in. We'll see what the Lions have up their sleeves in this situation, if they're going to let him swing away or if they're thinking of sacrificing the runner over, much like their counterparts, the Buffaloes, did. Azuma checks the runner over at first. Koga, no sign of bunts, and there's a breaking ball taken for a called strike. The count is 0-1. Koga was one of the beneficiaries, or the main beneficiary, when Tomoya Mori was traded after the 2022 season to Orix. He picked up last year, he picked up 239 at-bats. He had 282 plate appearances. Getting an opportunity to play more frequently and more often. There's a fastball swung on. This ball is lifted foul behind home plate, and now he finds himself in the hole at 0-2. He's 24 years old, and he went to Chuo University. He was the third-round pick in the 2021 NPB entry draft. So no balls and 2 strikes here to Koga. Right-hander checks the runner at first, does Azuma, and he works himself to the set position. And the pitch is a breaking ball that misses way upstairs. The count now goes to 1-2. As we mentioned before, it's interesting to see the Lions and how they've been playing here in the early going. I have to confess that I had written them off for dead at the beginning of the season. To see that they're off to a good start will only help their confidence this year as well, as they throw over to first base, and diving back safely is Koga. Our friend says we can call him Troll as long as they made him change his name. Oh, that's too bad. Sean Weinberger in the house tonight, as is Mike Z. We appreciate you guys for listening in. Sean, thanks for stopping by. Mike Z as well. He's pulling for the over, he says, as that fastball, as the ball was thrown over to first base. Diving back in time as the base runner Nishikawa. We had a call, as I said, I was a 50-50 if I was going to make the call tonight. It's on a ferry coming back from the island. There's a fastball swung on, grounded over to second. They flip it to the shortstop for one, back to first. That's going to be a double play. That's going to be the 4-6-3 variety. 4-6-3 retiring Yuta Koga on the back end. Nishikawa retired for the lead out. That's going to leave it all up to the shortstop, Sosuke Genda. Sean says, who do I like in this game? Well, I have been calling the Buffaloes to win the first couple of games of this series, and it never happened. The Lions won the first 2. I'm still calling the Buffaloes to win. We actually put our predictions up on our channel. We've done it. We did it all in the month of April last year, and we'll probably shoot through all the way into July this year. The problem is going to be out of town, going to be in Nicaragua in August. So I'm not sure I'm going to be able to make those predictions from down in Latin America. Fastball swung on. This ball is going to be popped up over on the third base side. It's in foul territory. Camping out underneath it is the third baseman, Nishino. He's there and makes the catch. And that is going to retire Genda for the third out of the inning. But they finally get their first base runners, do the Lions. No runs in the inning. There was a hit. No errors. Nobody left the board as they were erased on a double play. And that is going to do it here for the first 3 innings. Your score is the Buffaloes 1 and the Lions no score. Stick around, everybody. We'll be back with the call at the top of the 4th when we return. Appreciate you guys for hanging out with us here tonight. We'll be back in just a few after this. Stay tuned. Welcome back, everybody. We are moving to the top of the fourth inning, and it's going to be the 3, 4, and 5 hitters to come to bat for the Buffaloes. That means Ryoma Nishikawa, Leandro Cedeno, and Tomoya Mori to face the right-hander Bo Takahashi. Takahashi, the first 2 innings was a breeze. Last inning, the wheels started to come apart a little bit. As we said, it was a base on balls. He started to fall behind in counts. That was going to be the key to success in this one if Takahashi could get ahead in the count and throw strikes. Breaking ball taken for a called strike. The count is 0-1 to Nishikawa. Nishikawa tonight grounded to short his first time up. He's 0 for 1. He's seen his average dip back down to the 200 mark as there's a breaking ball in the dirt and the count goes even at 1-1. Got a chance to see Nishikawa play live last year a few times, and the one thing that really popped for me was his speed, ability to go into the gaps for the Carp last year to get balls as he swings at a breaking ball and misses, and the count is now 1-2. Good jumps on the ball for Nishikawa. And on top of that, he was able to haul some balls, and saw him in Yokohama make some beautiful plays. Fastball swung on, grounded over to the shortstop, fielded by Genda as he's moving to his left. That is going to retire Nishikawa for the first out of the inning. It's a ground out, 5-3. And he's in the books for out number 1. That's going to bring up Leandro Cedeno. Our friend Dinger in the house, he says, can you talk about the batting cages in Japan? Absolutely. If you're talking about the public batting cages, they're pretty unique. They're kind of neat. Depending upon where you're at in the United States, Canada, if you're listening in, as there's a breaking ball swung on. This ball is lifted into left center field off the bat of Leandro Cedeno. Camping out underneath it is Nishikawa. He makes the catch, and Cedeno is going to be gone for the second out of the inning. And so 2 up and 2 away, and that's going to bring up the designated hitter, Tomoya Mori. So if you want a cool experience, you can go to Japanese batting cages. They're all over Tokyo. They're all over the place in the major centers. And they have bats for you there. The balls that they put into the machine are kind of those rubberish type of balls. So probably best to swing the aluminum bats, because if you swung wood, it might be sawed in half. Here comes the first offering to Tomoya Mori. It's a fastball taken for a called strike. Mori 0 for 1 tonight. Flew out to the center fielder his first time up. Our friend Andrew is in the house here. There's a breaking ball taken for a called strike, and the count now goes to 0-2 on Mori. Our friend Andrew says, how big of a degenerate is he because he live bet on Orix -1.5? Fastball swung on line, right back off the pitcher. Takahashi fields it, throws to first, and that is going to be the final out of the inning. Takahashi says he's all right as he walks off the mound. It's going to go as a ground out, 1-3. I'll come back and continue talking about the Japanese batting cages. I'll also tell you what I think about the rest of this game. Predictions for the score on this game. I got to tell you that I'm not 100% sure on. I would have thought it would have been a little bit wide and big scoring, but not so much here. No runs, no hits, no errors, and nobody left the board for the Buffaloes in the fourth inning. We're now moving to the bottom of the fourth. Your score is the Buffaloes 1 and the Lions no score. Hang tight, everybody. We'll be back in just a bit. Appreciate you guys for being here. Be back in a few. Welcome back, everybody. Kohei Uzuma is just completing his warm-up tosses, and we're ready to resume the action. Just was talking a little bit about the Japanese batting cages, as I'll continue to talk about that here through the top or the bottom of the fourth inning. It'll be the top of the order coming up for the Lions. It'll be Kaneko, Cordero, and Tonosaki to face the right-hander here. I'd mentioned when I was in Japan that the Japanese batting cages, there was kind of neat because you can get the visuals of the pitchers in front of you. So you're facing the screen. The balls will get spit out of the hands of the pitcher depending upon who's throwing. First pitch breaking ball misses down to Kaneko for a ball, 1-0. Kaneko 0 for 1 tonight. He grounded to first his first time up. As Uzuma kicks and fires, fastball swung on and lifted foul down the left field line. Count runs even to 1-1. And so when you're at the Japanese cage, you've got the pitcher that you're viewing, and they might have about, 8, 10 machines and video screens in front of you. So you can get the balls coming out to face the live pitcher. There's a fastball swung on. It's grounded over to second. Fielded into the 4-hole by the second baseman, Oda, who throws to first. And Kaneko is going to be retired on the ground out 4-3. He's gone for the first out of the inning. It's going to bring up Franchi Cordero. But if you go to some of the older facilities, it would actually be all LED lighting. And the LED lighting would be like a pitcher doing all the movements, and then the ball would spit out of the hand where the slot of the pitcher would be. And you get to face some of that stuff as well. And it was kind of neat. You can usually pick 3 different speeds, and they're in kilometers. As the first pitch is delivered to Cordero, it's a fastball swung on and fouled away. And you can kind of set the speed of what you want to face. It could be 115 kilometers. I believe it was 130 and 145. Or maybe it was 135 actually was the top speed. So 135 is approximately an 80 some odd mile an hour fastball. There's a breaking ball that misses down and away, and the count is 1-1 to Cordero. Andrew Crook says Franchi Cordero, the Red Sox legend. I'm sure that there are a lot of Red Sox fans that would say his name in vain. There's a breaking ball that misses outside. It's now 2-1. Cordero, of course, didn't exactly light it up when he was with the Kansas City Royals. And now he's taken his act to Japan. Well, hopefully he can sort it out, because there was a lot of people who liked his game at one point in his career as that fastball swung on and fouled away. Red Sox fans probably would say they got more out of Franchi Cordero than they did out of Rusney Castillo, and Rusney Castillo got a whole lot more money. For those of you who don't remember Rusney Castillo, he got, I think, about $75 million for 5 years. And he even got to take his act to Japan as well. He was a Tohoku Rakuten Golden Eagle for a while. Fastball misses up and in, and the count is now 3-2 to Cordero. I think it's safe to say that neither Cordero nor Castillo will be in the Ring of Honor in Boston for the Red Sox. So here comes the 3-2 pitch as the right-hander kicks and fires. Fastball swung on and missed, and that's going to retire Cordero on strikes for the second out of the inning. So 2 up and 2 away, and that's going to bring up Shuta Tonosaki. So back to the pitching machine, the batting cages in Japan and the public ones. You'll be in the middle of nowhere, or you'll be in a place, for example, like in the middle of the city. You've got restaurants and everything nearby, and then you've got a batting cage on the top of a building, and they'll have 8 or 10 tunnels that they'll have. So it's a kind of a neat experience, one that everybody should try if you're a baseball fan when you're over there. And there's a first pitch fastball swung on. It's grounded to the right side. Fielded by Aguiar. He flips it to the pitcher covering. That's going to go down as a ground out, 3-1 for the third out of the inning, as Tonosaki has done the job here in inning number 4. No runs, no hits, no errors, and nobody left aboard. We are now moving to the top of the 5th inning. And man, are we cruising along here tonight. Your score is the Orix Buffaloes 1, the Saitama Seibu Lions 0. Stick around, everybody. This game here, we've got 4 innings in the books, and we're only an hour and 5 into it. We'll be back in just a few. Appreciate you for hanging with us tonight.
This is Steve Rademacher, and I'd like to introduce you to my channel if you haven't seen it before. These are all the things I enjoy: sports, autographs, relics, non-sports Hall of Famers, pseudo-sports, Star Wars. That's my channel name and my name, and I would really appreciate it if you would come check me out and maybe even subscribe if you like it. Thank you for that for now, and back to your ball game.
Welcome back, everybody. It is going to be the top of the fifth inning, and that'll bring Rio Oda, Rio Adachi, and Rio Watanabe to the plate. Three Rios to face the right-hander Bo Takahashi as he will start his fifth inning of work. I was talking about the Japanese batting cages in the last couple of half innings, and I said it's quite the experience. You get a chance to go. It's kind of neat. You get to see men, women, everybody that will go, and it can be a night out for a group of friends or just people that want to come and take their cuts. There's a breaking ball that misses outside to Oda. Oda tonight 0 for 1. He grounded to the shortstop his first time up. As the 1-0 pitch is on the way, it's a breaking ball swung on. This ball is lined into left field. Moving over towards the foul line is Franchi Cordero, and he's going to haul it in. And Oda's in the books for the first out of the inning. So 1 up and 1 away, and that'll bring up the shortstop, Rio Adachi. The piece that I'm looking at here, just out of interest, it's almost like a reverse standing right now, is the Saitama Seibu Lions are in the top of the heap in the Pacific League at 4-1. As that breaking ball just misses outside to Adachi for ball 1. The Orix Buffaloes are at the bottom of the heap at 1-4. There's a fastball that just misses, and the count now goes to 2-0 on Adachi. They got one win in that series against the Fukuoka SoftBank Hawks, and it's been tough luck ever since. As I mentioned before, the manager, Nakajima, he likes to rotate his players around. I don't know if I necessarily agree with that. You watch the Fukuoka Ball Club, they pretty much can roll out the same. There's usually same 7 hitters every night in the lineup. There's a fastball that misses up and away. Counts now 3-0 to Adachi. Our friend Dallas says, Andrew, don't hurt me even more with that. Must be Andrew Crooks he's talking to in the chat. Here's the pitch. Fastball taken for a called strike. The count now is 3-1. And of course, they're talking about that as well. Our friend Hose the Guy says he needs the Lions on money line. As the pitch is on the way, it's a fastball that misses outside, and that's going to be ball 4. That's going to be the second free pass issued tonight, and it's both been to Rio Adachi. So he has got himself a walk, and that's going to bring up the right fielder, Rio Watanabe. And for Watanabe, he's had a sacrifice bunt his last time up. Our friend Hose the Guy said, how's it looking so far? He needs the Lions on the money line. Well, you got a 1-0 Buffalo lead. It doesn't look very good right now for either ball club. They're really struggling at the offensive side. Both teams have 1 hit tonight. Not a lot of traffic on the base paths. Both of the pitchers have been pretty decent, although I will say Takahashi's pitch count is ratcheting up slowly here, as that's pitch number 68 that misses inside for a ball, and the count is 1-0 to Watanabe. Watanabe's begun the season 0 for 3. Our friend Troll says we're on an Orix channel around here. It seems like it tonight. Seems like it that I've been doing that this year. I've called all of the games that we've called so far have been the Buffalo games. That will change this weekend. Andrew says, are you reporting live from the game? Well, we're reporting live to you about the game. Here comes the 1-0 pitch. As the right-hander works himself set and now delivers. Fastball taken at the knees for a called strike, and the count is 1-1 to Watanabe. Just as a reminder for those of you who are new to our stream, usually between the 5th and the 6th inning, we like to call it the Japanese halftime. They take an extended break as they come out and clean the field. And so what happens is we will be taking a little bit of an extended break ourselves. There's a breaking ball that misses inside, and the count goes to 2-1. A friend Dinger says, who you going to call this weekend? And I was actually going to get to that, Dinger, and let you know exactly some of the stuff. I was leaning toward the series with the Chibalote Marines because I do believe that Roki Sasaki is probably projecting to be the Saturday starter. There's a fastball swung on. It's grounded to first, fielded by the first baseman, Jesus Aguiar, and then he steps on the bag, but the runner at first, Adachi, was on the move and he had no play at second base. That's going to go down as a ground out to 3. It retires Watanabe for the second out of the inning. It has moved Adachi into scoring position. That'll bring up the catcher, Kenya Wakatsuki. So we were leaning this weekend to do the Buffaloes and the Marines. That's at the Zozo Marine Stadium. We also were looking at the possibility of maybe doing the Fighters and the Lions, but that might be tomorrow night's game if we can squeeze one in tomorrow evening. So here comes the first pitch. It's a breaking ball delivered, and it is hit on a hop to the third baseman, and it's knocked down, and it squirts away, and it moves over towards the shortstop position where Genda is going to pick it up. That ball was absolutely missiled off the bat of Wakatsuki. A nice job by Sato to try to keep it in front as it took a wicked hop. He chested it up. It ended up bouncing over to the shortstop, Genda. They have a play at nobody, and that is going to put runners at the corners. We'll get a look at the highlight of that one. That ball was hit right on the screws. It was a nice play. If that ball gets through, it's probably going to score a run. So you have to tip your hat to Sato for that one, to taking it off the chest. And now they've got a conference on the mound here as the manager has come out to calm his pitcher down and to give a moment or so for Adachi to shake it off. Looked like it may have caught him on the forearm. So Wakatsuki aboard with a single. It brings up the top of the order in Shuhei Fukuda. And Fukuda tonight is 1 for 2. He's got a double in 2 trips. Connor Jones in the house, and he says, who's at bat right now? We are in the top of the 5th inning. So just for your notes, the home team is always to the right. The visiting team is to the left. And that would be on the ticker going across the bottom. So the home team tonight is the Lions. It is in the top of the 5th inning. It is the visitors who are hitting. So runners on the corners, Adachi at third, Wakatsuki at first, Shuhei Fukuda at the plate. Here comes pitch number 73 from Takahashi. It's a fastball that misses upstairs, and the count is 1-0. As we said, Fukuda 1 for 2 tonight with a double in 2 trips. Also struck out looking his first time up. Empty seats in the road section as the Buffaloes do travel, but they don't necessarily travel well. Probably one of the least supported teams in the NPB is Orix. So here comes the 1-0 to Fukuda. It is a breaking ball that misses upstairs, and the count is now 2-0. So Connor says that would be correct. He says he doesn't know baseball, he just knows money line. There you go. So 2 balls and no strikes to Fukuda. And now the pitching coach of the Lions is on the phone to the bullpen, and that is got to be a concern. It looks like that Bo Takahashi is starting to lose his command of his pitches here. And we talked about this being a problem. The base on balls are potentially an issue. 2 in 5 innings, which is pretty much on the pace of what he normally does. There's a breaking ball taken for a called strike, and the count is now 2-1. So 2 balls and 1 strike to Fukuda. Dinger says it seems like he's been pinched a bit near the zone. Certainly the lower part of the zone tonight when he has pitched. The umpire has not really given pitches below the knees. But I could also say that about Azuma too. It's worked on both ends. Here's the pitch. Fastball swung on, grounded, foul, just past the bag at third base. It looked like that Fukuda had cued it off the end of the bat, and that is going to run the count now even to 2-2. So 2 balls and 2 strikes. So originally, to go back to Dinger's question, we're leaning towards doing the Marines and the Buffaloes on the weekend, although I have to say that there is rain in the forecast for Chivas, so that would be something we'll have to keep an eye on as well. But possibly tomorrow night, the Fighters and the Lions at Escon Field. Here's the 2-2 pitch as the right-hander Takahashi holds to the set. Now he kicks and delivers. It's a fastball that misses down, and the count goes to 3-2 on Fukuda. Well, the runner at first is going to be in motion. That's Wakatsuki, as it's a full count here to the batter Fukuda. Runner at third is Ryo Adachi. 2 gone in the top of the 5th inning. Crowd is in good form here as they are cheering on their Buffaloes here to try to get a run across the plate. Here comes the 3-2. As the right-hander kicks and delivers. Fastball swung on. This ball is lifted into right field, moving over underneath it with plenty of room to make the catch. Is going to be Kaneko, and that is going to put it aside. Fukuda's in the books. He's gone for out number 3. And the Buffaloes threaten, but they don't score. There was no runs in the inning. There was a hit. There was no errors, and there was 2 runners left aboard. We're moving to the bottom of the 5th inning. Your score is the Orix Buffaloes won the Saitama Seibu Lions. No score. Stick around, everybody. We'll be back in just a few. Appreciate y'all for jumping in here. We'll be back here in just a couple moments. Hang tight, guys. Here is our friend Matt.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Namaste. Hey, I hope you guys have been enjoying the game. My name is Hollis. I've got a YouTube channel called Another Hollis Build. I love baseball cards. I open up brand new product for you guys. I open up old stuff. I do breaks. I do auctions. All kinds of stuff concerning baseball. I'm Friars faithful, Padres to the end. I also love Garbage Pail Kids and my animals. I have a ton of animals. It's like a mini petting zoo here around my house. I also love my city. San Diego, baby. I'll take you all around the city and show you what's up. If you guys dig stuff like that, cruise on over and check it out. It's Another Hollis Build. If you dig it, subscribe. I'd really appreciate to have more follow me along on the journey. Hey, either way, you guys have a wonderful day or a beautiful, beautiful evening. No matter which one it is, make sure that you make it great, my friends. Big up Last Raps Baseball. Yeah, Freddie, let's go. One love and peace. Yeah, man.
Appreciate you there, Matt, and for holding us up. And we appreciate everybody for jumping in here with us tonight on the Last Raps Baseball YouTube channel. We are moving now to the bottom half of the 5th inning. It is going to be coming to bat for the Lions in their half of the inning. It'll be the heart of the order. Jesus Aguiar, Takia Nakamura, and Ryusi Sato to face the right-hander Kohei Azuma, who has faced the minimum here tonight. He has allowed a base hit, but Manaya Nishikawa was erased in a double play back in the 3rd inning. That is where we stand. So our friend Hose the Guy says, who do I have in this one? We made our picks on our community page earlier today, and we have the Buffaloes in this one. But a lot could change in the back end of the bullpen. We'll have to see how this all plays out. But I am still leaning toward the Buffaloes. Here comes the first pitch to Aguiar. And the pitch is a breaking ball taken for a called strike, and the count is 0-1. Fantasy Football Social says, why can't we watch the game? We can't watch the game here because we would be infringing on copyright. So we'll give you the play-by-play in English. You're just going to have to go find your Chinese stream somewhere else. There's a breaking ball fouled away, and the count is 0-2. And what I mean by that is there are some streams out there that are put forward in Taiwanese, from Taiwan, from China, other places that you can pick up the game and watch it live. But it is all in Japanese, most likely. So some people come and they sync the stream to our game here, and we're able to give you all the information. Here's the 0-2 pitch. Fastball misses inside, and the count now goes to 1-2 on Aguiar. Our friend God is Great is in the house. And we appreciate you for being here. And as our friend Jason says, he does that. A lot of people do, whether it's on QQ or other stuff. There's all kinds of apps that are out there. If you have a VPN, there's a breaking ball that misses down, and the count is now 2-2 to Aguiar. Those are some of the things that you can add to your stable. And don't forget, if you're listening in, to bookmark the channel. If you're new here, then you'll get the notification when we did go live. Today was a late game time decision for us. As we said, we were on a ferry coming back from the island. Fastball swung on, grounded over to first base, taken on one hop by Cedeno. And he's going to win the race to the bag between Cedeno and Aguiar. So Cedeno is retired Aguiar for the first out on a ground out to 3. In the books for out number 1, and that's going to bring up Takia Nakamura. And our friend Gracie Lynn is in the house tonight. We appreciate you for popping in, Gracie. You got your Saitama Seibu Lions here. As we said, we were in that situation. We weren't sure if we were going to get to the game or not tonight, as we were doing our traveling roadshow this last couple of days. Leandro Cedeno is being checked on by the trainers. There was a little bit of a collision there. The Dinger asked the question, how are the Barons looking this year? And that's exactly what it was. Aguiar ran through the base, and Cedeno went to throw the ball, and it looked like he ran into the back, and I don't know what it was. Maybe that, but the way that he's grabbing his lower midsection, it might not have been just his shoulder that got hit. Gracie said she got back. I thought she was back from Costa Rica. There's a split finger pitch swung on and missed. Gracie Lynn spent pretty much the last month in Latin America, maybe a little bit more. Here comes the 0-1. Fastball swung on. This ball has popped up in the shallow left field. The shortstop moving over underneath it, and Adachi's going to make the catch. That is going to retire Nakamura for the second out of the inning. So 2 gone here, and that is going to bring up the third baseman, Ryusi Sato. This game has been skipping right along here tonight. Almost got 5 full innings in the book, and we're about an hour 20 deep. First 2 innings really went by quickly as both of these teams faced the minimum. So that brings up to the plate Ryusi Sato. He is 2 for 5. Check that now, 2 for 6 on the season. There's a fastball taken for a called strike. The count is quickly 0-1. Andrew says he should have taken the under. Generally speaking, in the NPB, it is probably always in your best interest to stay with the under, as the pitch is a fastball that misses upstairs, and the count is 1-0. Gracie Lynn says the Barons don't play until Friday, their first game. 1-1 on the way. Breaking ball swung on. This ball is golfed into left field. This ball is going to be trouble. It's going to be down, and it's off the wall. Playing it off the hop is the left fielder, Nishikawa, and he fires it in, and it's going to be a 2-out double here for Ryusi Sato. And that is going to bring up the center fielder, Manaya Nishikawa. So Sato with the second hit of the ball game for the Lions, and bringing to the plate Nishikawa, who had the first hit of the ball game for the Lions. And Nishikawa 1 for 1 tonight. Strides to the plate, looking to tie the ball game with one swing of the bat. Gracie Lynn says the Chicago White Sox farm system is pretty weak. Dinger says the name he keeps hearing is Montgomery. It's Colson Montgomery, who you'd be talking about, Dinger. And you're absolutely right, but we'll see what the new regime has to offer there. There's a fastball that misses down, and the count is 1-0. Chris Getz being the new general manager, Josh Barfield being the assistant GM. Wonder what kind of tricks they have up their sleeve in Chicago. So here comes the 1-0 offering to Nishikawa. As the right-hander Azuma gets his sign from his catcher Koga, he checks the runner at second. I say Koga, it's actually Wakatsuki behind the plate. I keep getting that mixed up. There's a fastball that's taken for a called strike, and the count is 1-1. Koga is the catcher for the Lions, who Tomoya Mori was replaced by. So 1 ball and 1 strike as the right-hander works himself set. And here comes the offering as he's ready to deliver. As Azuma fires, it's a breaking ball swung on. It's lifted into straightaway center field. Moving back and giving chase and making the catch is Fukuda. And that is going to do it. That is going to retire the Lions in their half of the inning. Well, they had no runs in the inning. They did have a hit. There were no errors, and there was 1 runner left aboard. We are through 5 complete innings. Your score is the Saitama Seibu Lions trailing the Orix Buffaloes 1-0. Remember, it is our version of the Japanese halftime. We're going to be back in just a few. We're going to put the tunes on loop and the chants on loop. We'll be back here in just a bit with all the action. Hang tight, everybody. Top of the 6 is just around the corner. Welcome back, everybody. It is going to be the 2, 3, and 4 hitters to come to bat for the Buffaloes as we just wrapped up our Japanese halftime, as Gracie Lynn says. So we are glad that you guys are with us tonight. It'll be Masahiro Nishino, Ryoma Nishikawa, and Leandro Cedeno to get things going here in the top of the 6th inning. As Bo Takahashi has returned 78 pitches through the first 5 for the right-hander, as he delivers a breaking ball to Nishino that's taken for a called strike. The count's 0-1. Nishino tonight, he is 0 for 2. His average has slipped to 222. Nothing on his slash line this year, as there's a fastball taken for a called strike. The count now goes to 0-2. So no balls and 2 strikes. So no balls and 2 strikes as the right-hander Bo rocks into the windup. He kicks and delivers. Fastball that misses down, and the count goes to 1-2 on Nishino. Nishino, Nishikawa, and Cedeno here to come to bat for the Buffaloes in the top of the 6th. This game has skipped along nicely as the right-hander delivers a breaking ball that is lined down the left field line, and if it stays fair, it's trouble, and it is. It gets down. Rounding first and heading to second is Nishino. And he's going to be aboard here with a leadoff double in the 6th inning. And that is going to bring up the left fielder, Ryoma Nishikawa. So Nishino's on at second. That's going to bring up Nishikawa. Nishikawa tonight 0 for 2. He is grounded to short and grounded to third. His 2 trips to the plate. So Nishino with him leadoff double here, gets himself into scoring position. Nishikawa has struggled lately, 4 for 21 on the year, no homers and 1 RBI. Looked like he was starting to snap out of his funk, and there's a breaking ball down. And the count goes to 1-0 on Nishikawa. As we mentioned, whether you listen live or on delay, we appreciate you guys for being here. We have had quite a bit of delay listeners this year, which has been great for us. And hopefully you guys are able to stay with us, whether we do the live or the delay ones. Some people just like to come back to listen. They are not the gamblers that we get in some nights. Here's the 1-0. Fastball misses up and away, and the count now goes to 2-0. But we like the whole audience. We do like the gambling portion as well. And we got a super chat here from Gracie Lynn. We appreciate you, Gracie, for your support of the channel. And our friend Trevor says, how has he not been here for the whole stream? Well, he's going to be with us to the end. Welcome, Trevor. Great to have you with us tonight again. And probably why you weren't here is we didn't really put up the posting of the game until about 25 minutes before the game started. So I don't know if the notifications went out or not. Fastball swung on, grounded down the first base line. It just bounces foul. It's going to be picked up by the first baseman, Jesus Aguiar, and flipped out of play into the stands. And it's now 2-1 to Nishikawa. As I mentioned, it was a game time decision for us. It was over on the island. If you guys are ever in Canada, and you're ever on Vancouver Island, you get to Ladysmith, BC. Ladysmith, British Columbia is the home of Pamela Anderson. And Pam Anderson is her hometown. They make the best Cinnabons. So we had some of that when we were over there. There was a fastball swung on and fouled away. The count's now 2-2 on Nishikawa. So 2 balls and 2 strikes. Nishikawa to be followed by Cedeno and Mori here. Fred Gracie said YouTube never sent a notification until we went live. Sometimes it'll send it a half hour out, or if you put the bell on, I think that's what it does. And then it sends you a notification. But the problem was I never got around to it to within that half hour time period. So there's a fastball that is swung on and missed, and Nishikawa goes in the books. He's down for the first out of the inning. So 1 of the books, that's going to bring up the first baseman, Leandro Cedeno. For Cedeno tonight, he is 0 for 2. He has popped to second, and he has flown to center in his 2 trips to the plate. And we have a conference on the mound as they have come out to C. Takahashi, and this might be the end of it. They've got the trainer out on the mound as well with the pitching coach. So it looks like Bo Takahashi's night is done as they are going to the bullpen. I don't know if they're going to get extra pitches here or what the deal is as they're out there with the trainer, but it looks like they've taken the ball. His night is done. And that is going to be it here for Bo Takahashi from what we can tell. All right, everybody. Well, hang tight. We've got ourselves a break in the action as they are going to the bullpen. Takahashi's night's done. We'll get you the pitching change when we return in just a few. Hang tight. It is the Buffaloes and the Lions. 1-0 Buffaloes as they are still batting here in the top of the 6th inning. Be right back in just a few after this.
Steve here from outside his refrigerator that a lot of you like so much. So let's go inside. There's my hot sauces and other stuff. Let's see what we can do here for Freddie. Awesome game, Freddie. Keep up the good work. We love the baseball. So why don't we rip open Garbage Pail Kids just for you and the listeners. Large Marge, she belongs in the fridge. Liberty Libby, well, she belongs down here on the beer. Apple Corey, hey, he's pretty cool. Put him on that beer up here. And Target Margaret. All Series 3 Chrome Garbage Pail Kids. Freddie, back to you in the game, and everybody else, please enjoy everything he does and tip him nicely.
Appreciate you there, Steve. We do have a pitching change as it's going to be Yoshinobu Mizukami into the ball game here, a right-hander to replace Bo Takahashi. Takahashi went 5 1/3 innings. He is responsible for the runner Masahiro Nishino at second base. It's going to be Leandro Cedeno to face the right-hander here as we're ready to resume the action in the 6th inning. And the first pitch on the way to Cedeno. As it is fired, it is a fastball that misses outside for ball one, and the count is 1-0. Cedeno 0 for 2 tonight as he popped to second and flew out to center. Those at-bats were against the right-hander Takahashi. 5 for 15 to begin the year for the big fella. He's got a homer and 2 runs driven in. As the right-hander ready to go again. Getting his sign from his catcher, Yuta Koga. Now he works himself to the belt. Checks the runner at second. Now he kicks and delivers. Fastball swung on it. It is lined over to third. And Sato feels that he has caught it as he raises it up. And the umpires agree with him as well. That ball was hit right on the screws. And Sato was able to pick it off the carpet. And that is going to be the second out of the inning. So Cedeno lines out for out number 2. And that is going to bring up the designated hitter, Tomoya Mori. Gracie Lynn asked the question, what do we make of the start of the season for my Detroit Tigers? It's a bit of a mirage. I mean, it's 3 wins against the White Sox, who could possibly lose 100 games, and a loss or a win against the Mets, who could also lose 100 games once the trade deadline has been met. So they play a double dip tomorrow against the Mets, and then they've got Oakland for 3. So it's good that they're beating teams they have to beat. But they have to beat the teams that are going to be playoff teams if we want to really start talking about them seriously. There's a first pitch fastball delivered to Tomoya Mori, taken for a called strike. Count is 0-1. Mori tonight is 0 for 2. He has flown to center and grounded to the pitcher. It is 2 times to the plate. So that's generally what I have to say about that. I've been finding it interesting watching some of the other highlights and things around Major League Baseball. The Toronto Blue Jays are playing a lot of blowouts, and they've been on the receiving end of those blowouts. Getting pounded again, I guess, or got pounded again tonight by the Astros. Here's the 0-1. Fastball just misses outside. The count goes even to 1-1. So 1 ball and 1 strike. But I have to say that I won't really dig into Major League Baseball until next week. I haven't really been. We've had a couple of busy weeks here as we've been running our programming. We're over on the island. It feels like I was away for about 5 days, and I was only gone for 2. Here comes the 1-1 pitch as Mori waits here on the offering from the right-hander Mizukami, who holds set. And now he fires. It's a fastball taken for a called strike, and the count now goes to 1-2. So 1 ball and 2 strikes it is. It is great to have some familiar faces back into the chat again with us this year. We're really glad that you guys can join us for the Japanese baseball, and hopefully we get a few more folks to stick around as well. Dinger says, hopes the Tiger arms stay healthy. That will be the key to success for that ball club, like it is for pretty much everybody else. Roosevelt asked the question. He says, do you guys think Orix is going to keep the lead, or should I cash out his parlay? Here comes the 1-2 pitch. As Mizukami delivers a fastball that misses outside, it's now 2-2. Well, my prediction for the ball game was an Orix victory today, although I have to say over the last couple of days, I've also had Orix. The Lions have played some surprisingly good baseball to start the year. And if you're a Saitama fan, that's good news for you. The Buffaloes stumbled out of the gates, but they have the 1-0 lead here, and they are got a runner in scoring position with Nishino at second base. As the 2-2 is ready to be served up here to the left-handed hitting Mori. And here comes the pitch. It is a fastball that misses down and away. The count now goes to 3-2. Gracie Lynn says we're going to have to talk to Kenta Maeda, though. It's early. One game, it is what it is. And Maeda's had some decent spring outings, so he'll get it sorted out. But at this point in his career, I'd have to say that I do think Maeda would be just slightly above a 500 pitcher. But I think that's in today's game. If he can get you 10 to 12 wins, it'd be a good season for most pitchers in baseball. There's not a lot of 20-game winners left. And if you get into the double-digit win category, you're doing okay as a starter. Here comes the 3-2 pitch. As it's on its way, it is a fastball swung on. This ball is lashed foul into the netting down the third base line. The count remains at 3-2 to Mori. I assume Dinger's talking about the velo we're watching here from the pitcher, Mizukami. He says the velo is pretty much hittable. Well, I would say this, that what we see with the right-hander who's on the mound here is a lot of movement on his pitch. Dinger says Maeda at 89. Well, it's true. Maeda not the velo. That is a hittable velo, but he's got so much movement on his pitch. 89 is one thing. 89 with movement's another. There's a fastball swung on. This ball's lined into right field. It's going to get down for a base hit, and that's going to get the second run of the ball game in for the Buffaloes. As coming all the way around from second is Nishino, as he is going to score the run, and Tomoya Mori has helped increase the lead with a 2-out single. And he has driven in Nishino with a run number 2 for the Buffaloes, and they are now up 2-0 here in the top of the 6th inning. And that is going to bring up the second baseman, Ryo Oda. And boy, did Tomoya Mori need that, as he does the damage against his old ball club. So Oda coming to the plate, 0 for 2 tonight, grounded to short and has flown to left. So the Buffaloes have increased their lead here in this one. As the right-hander now kicks and fires, it's a breaking ball swung on and missed. The count is 0-1 to Oda. Oda looking for his first hit of the season. He has started the year 0 for 5. He got the start at second base here tonight. Four other games to go off later tonight. The Dragons are playing host to the Murray Giants in the third game of that set. Fukuoka hosts the Chibalote Marines. The Tigers are hosting the Bay Stars, and the Carp are hosting the Swallows. There's a fastball taken for a ball, and the count goes even at 1-1. So 1 ball and 1 strike. We'll try to get our picks for tomorrow's games up sometime in the morning. Gracie Lynn says she honestly auto-drafted this year and got almost every Japanese player. Here's the 1-1 pitch. Breaking ball misses up and in. Counts now 2-1. Well, don't forget Kodai Senga when and if he returns. I don't know what the time frame on Senga is for his return to health. Maybe the New York Mets might tell him just to take the rest of the year off, as they are in for a tough season. So 2 balls and 1 strike. Our friend Keys is in the house tonight with his Seattle Seahawk logo. Here comes the 2-1 pitch. As the right-hander Miyazaki delivers a breaking ball for a called strike, and the count now goes to 2-2. Dinger says Yamamoto did have a better second start. And that's for sure he did. 2 hits through 5 innings. Very good start by Yamamoto. So 2 balls and 2 strikes to Oda. The runner at first is Mori. There's 2 gone here in the 6th inning. We have Mizukumi is in to replace Takahashi here in the inning. There's a breaking ball that misses down and away, and it's now 3-2 to Oda. So Mizukami here on in relief as the right-hander trying to get Oda here. The runner Mori will be on the move as it's a 3 ball and 2 strike count. As the right-hander leans in and gets his sign again from the catcher, Yutakoga. Checks the runner at first as he works himself to the belt. And here comes the offering. Pitch is on the way. Fastball swung on. It is lifted down the left field line, foul, and it looks like it is just going to get into the netting, and it has. Sosuke Genda gave chase, but that ball was not playable as it did hit the net. That's going to keep the count at 3-2. Our friend Fantasy Football Social is brand new to the channel. We thank you for stopping by tonight. And for those of you who've been around, we only update our ticker at the end of the half inning rather than doing it each one, but that's the way it goes. But when you come and you sit in for a little bit, you'll get the hang of it. So 3 balls and 2 strikes. It is to Oda. Mori will be on the move. Here comes the pitch. As the right-hander holds at the belt. He kicks and fires. Fastball swung on. It is looped softly over to the second baseman, Tonosaki, who's going to haul it in for the 3rd out of the inning, and that is going to do it here. Well, the Buffaloes got a run in the inning as they padded their lead. It is now a 2-0 lead. They had 1 run on the benefit of 2 hits. There was no errors, and there was 1 runner left aboard. Your score as we move to the bottom of the 6th inning, it is the Buffaloes 2 and the Lions. No score. Stick around, everybody. We'll be back in a few. Bottom of the 6th coming up when we return after this. Hang tight. It is a 2-0 lead for the Buffaloes as we're cruising to the bottom of the 6th inning. Lions coming to bat when we return. Hang tight, everybody. We'll be back in just a few after this. Welcome back, everybody. It is going to be the 8, 9, and 1 hitters to come to bat for the Lions here in their half 6th inning. That means Yuta Koga, Sosuke Genda, and Yuji Kaneko to face the right-hander Kohei Ozuma. It is 60 pitches through the first 5 innings for the right-hander. He's been very economical so far tonight. Be curious to see how he's going to do. It is not as big a layoff as one would think, as in the Japanese league, the pitchers, usually when there's 2 out, sometimes earlier, they get up and play catch in front of the dugout, keep their arm warm and to keep it going. But we'll be curious to see how he is going to respond here, getting the 8, 9, and 1 hitters to come to bat, as that was a rather lengthy top of the 6th. So you have the length of the top of the 6th plus the Japanese halftime, as we like to call it, is going to add here to the see if his sharpness is still with him. And the first pitch is a breaking ball that misses upstairs to Yuta Koga. And the count is 1-0. Koga tonight 0 for 1. He grounded into a double play back in the 3rd inning. As the pitch from Azuma's on the way, it's a fastball that just misses down, and the count now goes to 2-0. So 2 balls and no strikes. Our friend Gracie Lynn said she loves the growth of the channel. Last year she would join, there'd be 5 or 10 people watching and hanging out. Now there's 30. Yeah, we had a good run in the playoffs last year, had a lot of new folks to the channel. And as I said earlier in the stream tonight, and you may not have been with us, one of the things that I'm finding fascinating is the post-game listening has been really picked up. And that is kind of cool to see, too. There's a fastball swung on and fouled away. It's now 2-1 to Koga. And at the end of the day, really what we want is we want everybody to want to come on in that likes baseball, or, we have people here that just like to come in and put money down on games. They like to bet. Those folks are okay too. There's room for everybody. There's a fastball that misses down and away, and the count now is 3-1 to Koga. 8, 9, and 1 hitters, as we said, to come to bat here with Koga, Genda, and Kaneko to face the right-hander Azuma. Curious to see what kind of a leash Azuma might have here tonight. Our friend Tudo also in the house here tonight. Welcome back as always. Fastball swung on, driven into deep center field. Drifting back on it is Fukuda, and he's underneath it to make the catch. That is going to retire Koga for the first out of the inning. 1 up and 1 away. Gracie says, do you get watch hour credit for live listeners or only when we listen on replay? Get it for both, actually. Friend Mr. Rono in the house says, do you know Japanese? If so, if Otani offered you a job as his interpreter, would I accept it? Only if there was $4.5 million involved. There's a fastball that's taken for a called strike, and the count is 0-1. Now, my Japanese is not that great. So Sosuke Genda waiting here on the pitch. It's a fastball taken for a called strike. The count now goes to 0-2. Genda off to a good start this year. Entered the fray tonight, hitting .462, but he's 0 for 1 as he had popped out to the third baseman his first time up. Here's the 0-2 pitch. Fastball that misses way upstairs, and the count now goes to 1-2. It's really an unfortunate situation, that whole piece with Otani and his interpreter. I mean, everybody can have their opinions on what took place and what transpired, but I'll tell you, I think that there was probably some trust broken along the way. There's a fastball that misses inside, and the count is 2-2. I would think that Otani or a lot of the Japanese players are quite loyal to their interpreters and also the people that they surround themselves with. There's a fastball that is swung on and fouled away, and that's going to keep the count at 2-2. one of the things that I would be concerned about is Ohtani at the best of times is a pretty guarded person. And now with the situation of this, if he maybe puts up greater walls and barriers around him to keep himself even more guarded. Here comes the 2-2. As the pitch is on the way, it is a fastball swung on. It is lifted foul down the left field line. Count remains 2-2 to Genda. It's kind of funny. There was a number of years ago when I was still coaching at the college program here. We had a fella who was a Japanese interpreter, and he was wanting to learn the lingo, or he was learning English. He'd come over. His name was Masa, and he spent one season or 2 seasons with us, and he also was doing some stuff with the minor league ball team here with the Blue Jay organization. Fastball swung on and fouled away. Count remains at 2-2. I don't ever know whatever happened to him, but I know that was what his goal was to learn some of the baseball lingo and some of the stuff around the field, and we had a good kick out of it. Used to give him a ride home sometimes after practice. As he was on the way, couldn't do it all the time, but give him a rest. There's a breaking ball that is waved on and missed. Genda down on strikes. He's in the books for the second out of the inning. That's going to bring up the top of the order in Yuji Kaneko. CV says Shohei didn't waste any time throwing him under the bus. Yeah, well, as I say, if there is a situation, usually the Japanese can be pretty loyal. So if this guy messed up, then he probably really messed up, I would have to say. Here comes the first offering to Kaneko. It's a breaking ball, waved out and missed, and the count is 0-1. So no balls and 1 strike. Gracie Lynn has a point there. She says that the stories have changed a little bit on both ends. There's a breaking ball swung at and fouled away, and the count now is 0-2 to Kaneko. CV said, yeah, or his lawyers. Yeah, I'm sure once the lawyers started to get the script writing done properly, then that was probably better for all parties involved. Loose lips sink ships, as they say. There's a fastball swung on. This ball is grounded softly to second. Fielded by the second baseman, Oda, who throws to first, and Kaneko is going to be gone. Ground out 4-3 for out number 3, and that is going to do it here for the Lions in their half of the 6th inning. No runs, no hits, no errors, nobody left aboard. We are now through 6 complete. Your score is the Buffaloes 2, the Lions no score. Stick around, everybody. We'll be back here in just a bit. Our friend Dallas Miles says the interpreter was the fall guy, in his opinion. And who knows? I don't know if that story is done yet, but it's certainly going to get buried as quickly as they can bury it. We'll be back in just a bit, everybody. We appreciate you guys for hanging in here with us tonight. Hang tight. Welcome back, everybody. The pitching parade is continuing here for the Lions. This is number 3 to take to the hill tonight for Saitama. It'll be Taishi Mamita, who is taking over here, as he will be the 3rd pitcher used now for the Lions. Another right-hander, as he has followed Takahashi and Miyazaki. Say Miyazaki, it's Mizukami. I keep saying it incorrectly, and I apologize for that. Can't read my handwriting, especially when it's my own. That's a problem. So that is going to bring to bat here for the Buffaloes to begin the top of the 7th. It'll be the 7, 8, and 9 hitters. That means Ryo Adachi, Ryo Watanabe, and Kenya Wakatsuki. And the first pitch to Adachi is a fastball taken for a called strike. The count is 0-1. Adachi's been all over the base paths tonight. He has walked in both of his trips. He scored a run his first time. He was stranded at third in the 5th. And there's a fastball swung on and lifted foul into the seats behind home plate. And the count now goes to 0-2. So no balls and 2 strikes. I remember George Steinbrenner once said years ago that any publicity is good publicity, even if it's bad publicity. Fastball misses upstairs. The count is 1-2 because you always want to keep your team or your product in the news. That was his theory about the Bronx Bombers back in the day. 1-2 on the way. Breaking ball misses down and away. The count now goes to 2-2. And in some ways, it's a lot of merit to that. I think of the National Football League and the NFL. I tip my hat, whether it be Pete Rozelle or all the way now to Roger Goodell, whether you like them or not. They've done a great job of being able to market the NFL year-round. There's a fastball swung on and fouled away. It's basically a 5, or I'll even say it, it's a 6-month league. 1 month for exhibition, 4 months for the regular season, and 1 month for playoffs. When you have a 6-month league like that, they are in the news with their combines, with the draft, with the free agency, with the training camps, the OTAs, all that stuff. Fastball misses up and in. 3-2 to Adachi. They keep them in the news. And then, of course, with a few guys that get themselves into trouble and the other parts in time, well, it also helps the NFL stay in the limelight. Here's the 3-2 pitch. Fastball misses way upstairs, and that's going to be the 3rd time tonight that Adachi is aboard on a base on balls. So he's got himself a leadoff walk. It's going to be Ryo Watanabe coming to the plate, and if I was betting man right here, I'd be betting that we're going to see a sacrifice bunt. That's what Watanabe did the first time, and that was when Adachi was at second base. So Adachi comes to the plate. He is 0 for 4 on the season. He's grounded to first tonight, and he had that sac bunt. And if I'm making predictions, I would be thinking they're throwing to first, but they didn't. He throws the pitch to the plate. It is bunted, but it's foul down the third base line, and the count is quickly 0-1 to Watanabe. So no balls and 1 strike. Friend Gracie Lynn was asking if we get credit for the live hours or if we get credit for the replay hours. As we mentioned, we get credit for both. And that's why I said there's been an uptick in people watching the game after we've called the game, which has been great. We get a lot of listeners from the UK. There's a ball that's been bunted back to the pitcher. Coming off the mound and fielding it neatly is Mamita. He throws to first. Watanabe's going to do it again. That's a sacrifice. This time 1-4. As that is going to put him in the books for the first out of the inning, and that'll bring up the catcher, Kenya Wakatsuki. And for Wakatsuki tonight, he has driven in one of the 2 runs. He drove home Adachi his first at bat as he had a sac fly to the right fielder. He's also singled, so Wakatsuki having a night at the plate. He is now 1 for 3 on the season with no homers and 1 run driven in. Wakatsuki got the nod behind the plate tonight as Tomoya Mori shifted over to the DH spot in the batting order. We've got Billy DeKid in the house. Fastball taken for a called strike, and the count is 0-1. Welcome to you. We got Frankie Rolando in the house as well. We appreciate you for hanging out with us tonight as well in this one there, Frankie. As the pitch is a breaking ball swung on, is tapped softly over to second. Fielding it neatly as Tonosaki throws the first. That's going to retire Wakatsuki, but it does advance the runner over to third. Round out 4-3 for the second out. It's going to bring up the top of the order in Shuhei Fukuda. Our friend Mr. Rono says betting is illegal in Japan. No wonder both Shohei and Ippei looked at it like forbidden fruit. I would assume betting on maybe sports because they do gamble in Japan. There's a lot of casinos around and about. Not so sure about that one. So Shuhei Fukuda comes to the plate with 2 gone and a runner at third. As the right-hander Mamita delivers a first pitch breaking ball for a called strike. The count is quickly 0-1. So no balls and 1 strike. And Gracie asked the question about the channels that are already monetized. There's a breaking ball and the count is now 0-2. At that point in time, it's once you're in the YouTube partner program, you're there. They don't take it away. You really don't have to maintain the hours. We were kind of short a little bit there last year, but right now we've got more than enough hours than we know what to do with. So there's a fastball that misses upstairs, and the count goes to 1-2. Sort of when we reach the threshold of the 1,000 hours or 1,000 subs and 4,000 hours. At that point in time, it ended up being right around the same time we reached it. And then at that point, we've kind of not really looked back. So here comes the 1-2 pitch to Fukuda. As it's on its way. It's a breaking ball, misses down. A good stop there by Koga as that ball was down in the dirt, and that runs the count to 2-2. So 2 balls and 2 strikes. Friend Eric says he's got the under 4.5. Under is always a safe bet. In a lot of the cases in the NPB, they don't score a ton of runs. Fastball misses upstairs. It's now 3-2 to Fukuda. Fukuda has 1 hit and 3 trips here tonight. And he is looking to try to cash in another run here for the Buffaloes. There is a runner at third with 2 gone, 3-2 here to Fukuda. Amita ready to go again. And the pitch is on the way. Fastball swung on, grounded to short, fielded by Genda. Flips it to first, and that is going to do it. That's going to go in the books as a ground out, 6-3. Fukuda has gone for the 3rd out of the inning, and that will do it here. There were no runs in the inning. There were no hits, no errors. There was a runner left aboard. We're moving to the bottom of the 7th inning. Your score is the Buffaloes 2 and the Lions no score. Stick around, everybody. We'll be back in just a bit with all the action. Appreciate you guys for hanging out here with us tonight on the Last Raps Baseball YouTube channel. We'll be back in just a few. Here is our good friend of the channel, Steve Rademacher.
Oh, hello. Oh, hey. Yep. I'm just sitting here listening to Freddie call another game here on YouTube. Oh, yeah, going really good. He's calling a great game. Really exciting. Lots of stuff going on. You're lucky it's commercial break right now. I got a second. Oh, yeah, of course I'm having a cold one. Oh, yeah, got plenty of videos coming up this week. You should stop in, check them out, leave a like, tell other people. But, Freddie's coming back. I got to go catch the game. I will check in with you later. You have a good night, buddy. Bye.
Welcome back, everybody. It is going to be the 2, 3, and 4 hitters slated to come to bat for the Saitama Seibu Lions. It'll be Franchi Cordero, Shuda Tonosaki, and Jesus Aguiar. as it is going to be Kohei Azuma coming back out for inning number 7. He's been very economical tonight with his pitches. For the most part, he had 60 pitches through 5. And then in the last inning, he had a rather lengthy at-bat to Sosuke Genda, but he is at 76 pitches through the first 6 innings. I would anticipate he will probably look to get through this one here again as well. The first pitch is a breaking ball that misses up and away, and the count is 1-0. And for those of you who are listening in, YouTube is our main channel, although we also do stream on Twitch, as people do come in from there from time to time, but mainly find us on the Last Raps Baseball YouTube channel. Fastball swung on and lined into the netting down the right field line. Count is 1-1 to Franchi Cordero. We will be back on the weekend here, as we had mentioned before. We're going to be doing some of that stuff, as we are going to be calling some games. So we are going to make some decisions tomorrow, so you'll see that they will be posted. Fastball misses inside, and the count now goes to 2-1 on Cordero. As we said, I'm not sure. I'll probably do a game tomorrow night at about 2 in the morning. So if you're up really, really late and you want to hang out at 2 in the morning Pacific or 5 a.m. Eastern, we'll probably be on the airwaves tomorrow. Breaking ball drops in for a called strike. 2-2 now to Cordero. But I'm leaning towards Saturday and Sunday doing the game with the Chibalote Marines, because the Marines will probably be throwing Roki Sasaki on Saturday night. And of course, that would be against the Buffaloes as well. So hopefully we can do a little bit of that. So 2 balls and 2 strikes it is, as Cordero is waiting here on the offering from Azuma. The pitch on the way is a fastball swung on and missed. And that is going to retire Cordero on strikes. He's gone for the first out of the inning. And I forget who it was. I think it was Connor who was in here earlier, or Andrew. We're chuckling about Franchi Cordero, saying Boston Red Sox fans couldn't wait for him to go. But nope, that looks like you got a piece of that one there. So it's going to keep the count at 2-2. I've already had him in the books. But now there's a fastball swung on. It's grounded over to first, and he's going to be out this time this way. So that's going to go in the books as ground out to 3. I jumped the gun on Cordero there, as I thought that he had struck out on the pitch, but the umpire said he got a little piece of it. So he is in the books for the first out of the inning. It's a ground out to 3 for out number 1. That's the way it goes. Our friend Gracie says she doesn't like time zones so much. The only games she can make is when she's on vacation or these Japanese day games. Yeah, the time zones are tough. That is for sure. And here comes the first pitch. It's a breaking ball delivered to Tonosaki, taken for a called strike. The count is 0-1. Me Too Fuzzball says he's got some big money on this game, as does Frank Flores. As here comes the 0-1 pitch. It's a fastball that misses down, and the count is 1-1. So 1 ball and 1 strike. Glad everybody could make it in tonight for some midweek Japanese action. As we said, if you're new to the stream, don't forget to bookmark the stream so you guys can come on back and listen in the future. As the 1-1 pitch is on the way, it is a fastball swung on. It's tapped slowly foul over on the first base line. Counts 1-2 now to Tonosaki. As mentioned, we will be back on the airwaves again this weekend. And our probably at some point tomorrow is when we'll make our decision on when we are going to post our games and which ones we'll cover. Thinking tomorrow night, actually, calling the Lions and the Fighters, just because there's rain in Chiba. There's a fastball that misses outside. Counts 2-2. They're not calling for it earlier. They're calling it for it to come in late in that game. So I don't really want to sit through a rain delay at 4 o'clock in the morning Pacific time. It's not a whole lot of fun at the best of times. Here comes the 2-2 pitch as Azuma holds set. Now he kicks and delivers. Breaking ball swung on. This ball is belted into deep left field. This ball could be trouble if it stays fair. And if it does, it is gone. It's a home run by Shuta Tonosaki, and that has cut into the lead. It is now a 2-1 ball game. as Tonosaki is rounding the bases. And the Lions fans now have something to cheer about. They're down to 8 outs left in this game. And Tonosaki has put a charge into this dome. And he's getting fist pumps all the way around, and the whole infield is in to talk to the young right-hander. Haven't seen any action in the Buffalo pen. It is an outdoor pen. Not hidden away, but Tonosaki absolutely turned on that one and scorched. That's his first home run of the year. It is now a 2-1 ball game here for the Buffaloes. So don't go away yet. We've got action still to come. And so if you guys are looking for it, we have also on our channel, on our community page, we give our daily picks. We also give you the updates on who we have. So it'd be money line picks. We don't really do the spreads so much. Fastball taken for a called strike to Jesus Aguiar, and the count is 0-1. Aguiar tonight is grounded to third and grounded to first his 2 trips to the plate. As the right-hander Azuma ready to go again. As he kicks and delivers. Fastball swung on and grounded foul over on the third base side. The count now goes to 0-2. So no balls and 2 strikes it is. Aguiar at the plate here, waggling the bat. Ready from the offering from Azuma, who delivers a fastball that misses outside, and the count goes to 1-2. So 1 ball and 2 strikes. We mentioned before we're going to call some major league games this year. We only did about 4 or 5 last year. But I'd like to, starting next week, get into the groove of getting some games in on the day as well. Fastball that misses down, and the count goes to 2-2. At least up until the end of June, we should be able to squeeze a couple of games in during the week as well. Get into the month of July and August, it starts to become a problem because of our own commitments. Frank asked the question, what's the opening over-under on this one? I actually didn't check that stuff today. There's a fastball swung on. It's grounded back to the pitcher. Fielded by Azuma. He throws to first. That's going to be a ground out 1-3. That puts Aguiar in the books for the second out of the inning, and it'll bring up the designated hitter, Takeya Nakamura. Generally, the way I work it is I actually will make my decision and picks, and then I actually go and take a look at the, whether it be the money line or the spreads or the over-unders in some cases, but it really depends on the spot where you're looking at. I'm not sure who everybody uses for their sites on the over-unders. There's a first pitch fastball. Oh, that might have got a trifecta. Looked like it had fouled off the bat of Nakamura. It caught the catcher, and it looked like it got the umpire as well. So no balls and 1 strike to Nakamura as the catcher Wakatsuki and the umpire collect themselves. And here comes the 0-1. Breaking ball that misses down and away, and the count goes to 1-1 on Takeya Nakamura. So 1 ball and 1 strike. Nakamura has dug himself in, and he's ready to go again. As the right-hander kicks and he fires. Fastball swung on. This is lifted into right center field. Coming over is Fukuda. He's underneath it. He makes the catch. And that is going to do it. But they got a run in the inning, did the Lions. It was the solo shot by Shuta Tonosaki to cut the lead in half. 1 run, 1 hit, no errors, and nobody left the board. We're now through 7 complete. We're getting into the deep water in Saitama. Your score is the Buffaloes 2 and the Lions 1. Stick around, everybody. We'll be back in just a bit. We appreciate you guys for listening in on your either late Wednesday night or early Thursday morning with all the action here. We're right back on the Last Raps Baseball YouTube channel in just a few after this.
Hello, this is Eric Fox, formerly of the Oakland A's and Texas Rangers baseball teams. If you want to learn about Japanese baseball, see Coach Fred of Last Raps Baseball. If you want to baseball instruction, see Coach Fred. If you want to learn about golf, do not go to Coach Fred. Fred, what kind of club is this?
At Last Raps Baseball, we know baseball. We're moving into the top of the 8th inning. We'll be back in just a few. It is a 2-1 ball game for the Buffaloes over the Lions. Appreciate you guys for hanging with us. Welcome back, everybody. The Saitama Seibu Lions are going back to their bullpen, and we have a left-hander. It's Shinsuke Sato taking over here in inning number 8. This is going to be the 4th pitcher used by the Lions here tonight. So Shinsuke Sato on the hill, as he is going to be facing the 2, 3, and 4 hitters for the Buffaloes. It'll be Nishino, Nishikawa, and Cedeno scheduled to come to bat here. Although I have to say, I'm not sure if this is Nishino. It does look like it is going to be Marwin Gonzalez, who is 1 for 6 to start the year. So we have a pinch hitter, Marwin Gonzalez, the former Houston Astro, and Yankee and Red Sox here to hit. As the first pitch to Gonzalez is a fastball that swung on and missed, and the count is quickly 0-1. So as we said, Gonzalez 1 for 6 on the campaign. I have to say, one of the things, and I talked about it a little bit earlier in the stream, is the manager Nakajima. It's hard to watch the Buffaloes right now because there's just no continuity. When you're a positional player, you want to play every day. And if you can play every day, it helps your timing at the plate. You're able to time up the pitchers, you get in a rhythm. When you're not playing every day, that's hard. There's a fastball swung on and fouled away, and the count now goes to 0-2. And what I mean by that is playing every day and you get the opportunity to swing the bat, your timing, you're getting to see 90-plus mile-an-hour fastballs. You become accustomed to it. You become a little easier. You're a part-time player only playing 2 or 3 times a week. It makes it a lot more difficult to have to face that type of pitching. And so the lineups that the manager Nakajima has been rolling out have been significantly different over the first 6 games of the year. There's a fastball swung on. It's popped up into foul territory, giving chase as the catcher Koga and the first baseman Aguirre, but it's going to drift into the seats. Count is going to remain at 0-2. Our friend Gracie Lynn said she liked that bluegrass. We're glad that you have it here. Our friend Dylan says, what do we got for the early morning games? The rest of those games are all coming up 6 o'clock p.m. Japanese time, 2 a.m. Pacific, or 5 a.m. Pacific if you're in North America. There's a breaking ball waved at and missed, and Marwin Gonzalez goes in the books. He's gone for the first out of the inning. So 1 up and 1 away here in the 8th, and that's going to bring up the left fielder, Ryoma Nishikawa. Well, Dylan, on our community page, we got our picks for the games today. So I don't know if that helps anybody out sometimes, but we have been pretty good so far in our start to the year. Picking baseball games is very, very difficult, especially when you have pitching changes, the bullpens, all the rest of that stuff. There's a fastball taken for a called strike, and the count is 0-1. A lot of variables, but the hardest variable is I do the picks earlier in the day, but I don't always get to see the lineups that get rolled out. Like this Buffaloes lineup here tonight, for them winning 2-1 right now, it's a little shocking in a way because they don't have a lot of big thumpers in the lineup. Fastball that misses inside, and the count goes to 1-1. No regulars like Yataro Sugimoto or Yuma Bune. Kai Nakagawa hasn't played this year. There's a fastball that's taken for a called strike, and the count now goes to 1-2 on Nishikawa. And no Tongu, no Mune, no Nakagawa. A lot of guys that are regulars. No Sugimoto, as we said, in the lineup. Breaking ball, take it for a called third strike. Oh, and Nishikawa stood there like the house by the side of the road. He watched it go by for out number 2. 2 up and 2 in the books here. As the reliever, Sato, has come in and pitched very, very effectively. That's going to leave it up to the first baseman, Leandro Cedeno. Friend Gracie Lynn says that our general rule of thumb is that it's probably going to be a long season for a team that doesn't have a consistent starting 9. There's a first pitch breaking ball delivered to Cedeno that misses outside for a ball, and the count is 1-0. So 1 ball and no strikes. Cedeno tonight is 0 for 3. He has popped to second, flown to center, and lined to third. As the lefty kicks and delivers, a fastball swung on it is grounded over to the left side of the infield, fielded by Genda. Throws to first, and that's going to do it here for the Buffaloes in their half of the 8th. That goes in the books as a ground out, 6-3 for the third out of the inning. The Buffaloes come up empty. There were no runs in the inning. There were no hits, no errors, and nobody left the board. We're moving to the bottom of the 8th. Your score is the Buffaloes 2, the Lions 1. Stick around, everybody. We'll be back in just a bit. Appreciate you guys for hanging with us tonight on the Last Raps Baseball YouTube channel. Here is our friend Matt.
Well, you've got to have an ace in the hole, a little secret that nobody knows. Life is a gamble, a game we all play, but you've got to save something for a rainy day. You've got to learn to play your cards right if you expect to win in life. Don't put it all on the line for just one roll. You've got to have an ace in the hole. Yeah.
Welcome back, everybody. It is going to be a very interesting finish to this one. We've got Andres Machado coming in for the Buffaloes, the former Washington National Kansas City Royal. It was sitting on 100 miles an hour when we watched him pitch against Fukuoka, and he was absolutely incredible in his debut in the NPB. He's going to be facing Sato, Nishikawa, and Koga here to begin the 8th inning. We do have a couple of changes as Yuma Mune has come into the game at third base. And the first pitch fastball just misses upstairs for ball 1, and the count is 1-0. That last one poured in at 97 miles an hour. So 1 ball and no strikes to Sato. Sato is 1 for 2 tonight. He has doubled in his 2 trips. As the pitch is a fastball that's taken at the knees for a called strike, and it's now 1-1. Machado, as I said, very impressive in his NPB debut. And he can really, really bring it. Pitch on the way, fastball swung on it, was on the fists, and it was fouled off here by Sato, and the count goes to 1-2. That drifts behind home plate. So 1 ball and 2 strikes it is. Our friend Gracie Lynn says you should get more adverts with him singing. It wasn't terrible, you know. Yeah, actually, if I can tell you that Matt's got some tunes up on iTunes, actually. He's got a couple albums Fastball swung on and fouled away, and that count is 1-2 to Sato. I'd have to find it for you and tell you what it is. It's not Matt Hollis, which is his name. He had a stage name back in the day. He did some other stuff, so he likes doing that sort of stuff. It's always a good kick out of it. But I don't think he is eating steak from his iTunes sales. There's a fastball that misses down, and the count goes to 2-2. He's probably ground chuck. Is more like it on the menu. So 2 balls and 2 strikes to Sato here as he bats leading off the bottom of the 8th inning. Lions trail by 1. Fastball swung on, grounded down the third base line. Diving stop by Mune, but he's not able to get up and make the throw. A fantastic play by Mune, who was putting on a clinic against the Hawks last weekend. But Sato is going to be aboard here with a leadoff single, and that's going to bring up the center fielder, Manaya Nishikawa. All I kept thinking tonight is, we know there's probably no gambling in baseball, and the fix probably isn't on. But it was probably going to be something else here, and I was kind of laughing about it, where there's no other games going on right now. I'm sure they would probably love to see this go extra innings. We do have a pinch runner at third base. It is Takamatsu running, and the first pitch is bunted. It's popped up foul, and it is a nice sliding catch by Wakatsuki. And Nishikawa does not get the job done as he pops out to the catcher for the first out of the inning. Not a very good bunt at all. He is gone. So Takamatsu, the runner, he holds it first. Our friend Mr. Rono asked the question, is all steak in Japan Wagyu? No, there's Wagyu, there's Kobe beef, all kinds of different stuff. So here comes the first pitch. It's a fastball taken for a called strike. The count is 0-1 to Koga. Gracie asked a question. I'll have to come back to you on that because it's a kind of a deep question. Maybe a little too deep right now for the 8th inning of this game. We've got action that is taking place. Here's the 0-1 offering now to Koga. Pitch on the way. It's a fastball that misses down and in. The count goes to 1-1. Koga 0 for 2 tonight. Grounded into the double play in the 3rd inning. Flew out to center in the 6th. So 1 ball and 1 strike it is here to Koga. He is a double play candidate, though. As we said, he already grounded into 1 here tonight. He's not the fastest of runners. As the 1-1 on the way. Fastball swung on. Grounded through the 6-hole into left field. They had the runner in motion, and he's able to pull it through. Oh, and the Lions have got something going now. Koga with a base hit. The shortstop, Adachi, was moving over to second base to cover the bag as the runner was in motion. A little surprising there. Maybe they realized, or maybe they said, hey, look, maybe we'll have, with Koga at the plate, he's a little behind here. And the runner was in motion, and the shortstop was moving toward the bag, ended up getting pulled through the 6-hole. And that is a base hit for Koga. It brings the pinch runner Takamatsu all the way around to third. That puts runners at the corners with 1 gone. And now that's going to bring up the shortstop, Sosuke Genda. And for Genda tonight, he is 0 for 2. He has popped to third and struck out. But I would say this, let's keep an eye here. Genda's pretty much a wizard with the bat when it comes to dropping bunts down. I wouldn't bat an eye if there was a potential for a safety squeeze here. Let's see what is up the sleeves of the Lions. And the first pitch, and they do square to bunt, and it is missed, and it is a strike called by the home plate umpire as Genda head went around. So exactly what we were thinking about, a potential for a safety squeeze. No ball and 1 strike here. We had to go look at the replay. And the difference, for those of you who don't know the difference between a safety squeeze and a suicide squeeze. Suicide squeeze, the runner is just taking off from third, and you better get it down. A safety squeeze is the bunter will get it down, and then the runner will read it and go. Fastball misses outside, and the count goes to 1-1. Especially if the ball is fielded and they throw to first, the runner can still come home. So 1 ball and 1 strike to Genda. The runner is the pinch runner Takamatsu at third. Runner at first is Koga, and the pitch is a fastball that misses for a ball. I'm not sure where that pitch missed. Only the home plate umpire would know. That pitch looked pretty darn good. And Nick says, the best part of life is your kids, your wife, laughing with friends and listening to Last Raps Baseball. There you go, Nick. And here's the pitch. It is a ground ball up the middle, fielded by the shortstop, over to second for 1, back to first, and it's an inning-ending double play. That's going to go in the books as a 6-4-3 variety, and the Buffaloes get themselves out of a jam here in the 8th inning. No runs in the inning. There were a pair of hits. There was no errors, and there was 1 runner left aboard. We're now through 8 complete. Your score is the Buffaloes 2 and the Lions 1. Stick around, everybody. We'll be back in just a bit for the top of the 9th inning. We're going to have ourselves another pitching change when we return. Appreciate you guys for hanging in here with us tonight on the Last Raps Baseball YouTube channel. We have a score line right now of 2-1 for the Buffaloes as we're moving to the top of the 9th inning. Stick around, everybody. We'll be back in just a bit with all the action. Welcome back, everybody. It is going to be normally the closer of the Lions, which is Tatsushi Masuda, but he is coming in with them down by a run as he is pitching the top of the 9th inning. He has only had 1 appearance this year, so it is time to get some work in. He will be the 5th pitcher used tonight by the Lions as he is just completing his warm-up tosses. We are ready to resume the action here in just a couple moments. So Masuda in as he is just finishing off his tosses, and he's going to be entrusted to have to face Tomoya Mori, Ryo Oda, and Ryo Adachi, the scheduled hitters to come to bat here. And I have to double check on it because I don't know if Oda has left the ballgame, because when Marwin Gonzalez came in, he is at second base. He is playing for Nishino. It could be Yuma Mune in that spot. We do have a new third baseman, and that is going to be Hugh Moroyama, who has come in for the Lions. So that is where we stand. So Tomoya Mori steps to the plate. He is 1 for 3 tonight. He's also driven in a run. He's 3 for 20 on the season. The former Lion facing his former club, and the first pitch is a breaking ball that is taken for a called strike, and the count is quickly 0-1. Mori batting from the left side here against the right-handed throwing Masuda. As the right-hander works himself to the belt. Now he kicks and fires. There's a breaking ball swung on. This ball is lifted into left field. Drifting back on it is Franchi Cordero. He makes the catch to a round of applause from the Lions faithful. So with 1 up, we have 1 away here in the 9th inning. And that is going to bring up the second baseman, Ryo Oda. Our friend Meadow Foosball says a grand a day keeps the 9 to 5 away. Yes, it could. So this is going to bring up the right-handed hitting. Well, looks like it is Oda here, and that's exactly who it is. It's not Mune. First pitch is a breaking ball that misses down, and the count is 1-0. Bryce Humphrey asked the question, anyone here from betting on FanDuel? So that is the question for the audience there from Bryce. There's a fastball swung on. This ball is lifted into shallow right field. Moving back on it is Tonosaki. Coming in hard is the right fielder, and that is Kaneko, and he's going to make the catch. And we've got 2 up and 2 away here, and that's going to leave it all up to the, well, it should be the shortstop Adachi, but we'll see if this has been where Mune has been slotted into. As we mentioned before, sometimes we don't always quickly get the updates and the changes. But this is going to bring Ryo Adachi to the plate. Adachi tonight has been walked all 3 times he's come to the plate. First pitch fastball taken for a called strike. The count is 0-1. Attendance for tonight's game is 18,713. And to be honest with you, I wouldn't have guessed that. I would have thought there was more. The crowd looked like that it was a pretty good attendance, but we don't always get to see what's around the home plate area. There's a fastball taken for a called strike. The count is now 0-2 to Adachi. So no balls and 2 strikes. Not a lot of scoring in this one here. 2-4-0 for the Buffaloes. 1-5-0 the Lions score for the Lions. 0-2 on the way. Breaking ball swung on and lifted foul over on the first base side of home plate. And the count remains at 0-2. So no balls and 2 strikes. As the right-hander leans in and he gets his sign. As the right-hander works to the set. Here comes the 0-2. As the pitch is on the way, fastball swung on. This ball is lifted into left center field. Moving over underneath it with room to make the catch is the center fielder Nishikawa, and that is going to do it. That's a quick inning for the Buffaloes. And now it all comes down to the bottom of the 9th inning as the Lions are coming to bat. There were no runs, no hits, no errors, and nobody left the board. It is a 2-1 lead for the Buffaloes. Coming to bat when we return, it'll be the top of the order. Kaneko, Cordero, and Tonosaki. Stay with us, everybody. We'll see if the under holds. We'll see if it holds for the Buffaloes. And we'll see how this game all shakes out in just a few. Appreciate you guys for your support and listening in tonight. We'll be back right after this. Welcome back, everybody. It is the closer for the Buffaloes coming in. It is Yoshi Hirano, the former Arizona Diamondback and Seattle Mariner, as he is taking over here. Hirano, sometimes when he's going well, he is outstanding. And when he doesn't, it becomes white knuckle time for the Buffalo fans. He can be hard to watch, but he is off to a decent start. We've seen him pitch in the exhibition season. But it is the bottom of the 9th inning here in Saitama, and we have sets up for an exciting finish for all parties involved. It'll be the top of the order, Kaneko, Cordero, and Tonosaki. And with one swing of the bat, they can tie it up. And with two swings of the bat, they can win the ball game. Could the Lions? 0 for 4 on the season is Kaneko. Or I should say 0 for 4 in the part here is 0 for 3 tonight. Ground out to first, a ground out to second twice as he takes a first pitch fastball for a called strike, and the count is 0-1. So no balls and one strike to Kaneko. He bats from the left side here against the right-handed throwing Hirano. He works himself to the belt, and now he kicks and fires. A fastball swung on, and it's now 0-2. So no balls and two strikes. So in the hole right now is Kaneko at 0-2. And the right-hander Hirano ready to go again. He has a steady diet of split-finger pitches that he can toss up to the hitters. Let's see how this goes. Fastball down in the dirt. Nice stop there by the catcher Wakatsuki. The count now goes to 1-2. Our friend Connor says, why would we say that? Just to add a little drama and to see how strong your stomach really is, Connor. So 1 ball and 2 strikes to Kaneko as the right-hander Hirano leans in, gets the sign. And now he works himself to the belt. And here comes the 1-2. Fastball, take it for a called third strike. Oh, Kaneko, he stood there like the house by the side of the road and watched this go by as he is gone for out number 1. 1 in the books. 1 up and 1 away, and that's going to bring up the left fielder, Franchi Cordero. Well, they do have some pop in the order, and Cordero can definitely run into a baseball. But he also has a way of waving at it in situations as well. Just ask those Red Sox fans. The first pitch is a fastball swung on, is grounded softly over to second. Fielded by Gonzalez. He throws to first. And that is going to retire Cordero. A ground out 4-3. He's in the books for the second out of the inning. And now the Lions are down to their final out and their final batter here, potentially in Shuta Tonosaki. And for Tonosaki, he has accounted for the only run tonight for the Lions. He had a solo shot back in the 7th inning. So he's got the pop in the stick and he's feeling his mojo. He's hitting .391 on the early going with the homer and 4 runs batted in. So you have to treat him delicately, and you've also got Jesus Aguiar on deck. And the first pitch from Hirano is a breaking ball that misses down and away, and the count is 1-0. It's definitely white knuckle time for a lot of people in here, and it is for me too. I'm excited to watch this. This is a great finish. Turned into a fantastic ball game. So 1 ball and no strikes to Tonosaki. After the game, we'll do a quick roundup and a recap of this one. Before we call it a night, there's a breaking ball down, and the count is now 2-0. We won't give you the out-of-town scoreboard because all the other games begin in a couple hours' time. 2 balls and no strikes here to Tonosaki. Lions fans are urging their home team on. There is a fastball taken for a called strike, and the count now goes to 2-1 on Tonosaki. So 2 balls and 1 strike. Tonosaki batting from the right side against the right-hander Hirano, and there's a breaking ball swung on. This ball is lined into center field, and this ball is going to get down for a base hit. It falls in front of Fukuda, and the Lions have life as they've got a runner on first with 2 away, and that is going to bring up the first baseman, Jesus Aguiar. So Aguiar coming to the plate, 0 for 3 tonight in this one. Grounded to third, grounded to first, and has grounded to the pitcher. Our friend Frank Flores is calling for a walk-off to come up here. Well, the bad news for the Buffaloes is the right guy at the plate for the Lions could be that guy. He's got juice in the stick, that is for sure. Here's the first pitch. Fastball misses down, and the count is 1-0 to Aguiar. Aguiar, 5 for 23 on the season. He's hitting .217. No homers and 4 RBIs. As the right-hander ready to deliver again. Fastball catches the outside corner for a called strike, and the count goes even to 1-1. This is literally the meat of the order. They've got Takia Nakamura waiting on deck. This is two big fellas in the middle of the order. The right-hander Azuma is in line for the win here tonight. So here comes the 1-1 pitch. On the way, split finger pitch misses down, and the count goes to 2-1 on Aguiar. Remember, Jesus Aguiar had some good times in Major League Baseball. He was an all-star with the Milwaukee Brewers. Seems like a long time ago. Here comes the 2-1 pitch. As the right-hander fires, it's a fastball that just misses down. Oh, boy. Have to tell you, if you're a Buffalo fan, you're not going to be happy about that. That one looked like he got squeezed. So 3 balls and 1 strike to Aguiar. 2 gone here in the 9th inning. And Hirano ready to go again as he's getting his sign from Wakatsuki. Pitch on the way. Fastball swung on, grounded foul just past the third base coach's box. The count now goes to 3-2. So 3 balls and 2 strikes. Our friend Troy is in the house here. You made it just in the nick of time, Troy. 2-1 lead here for the Buffaloes. Bottom of the 9th inning. There is a runner at first. There's 2 gone. Jesus Aguiar at the plate. 3-2 count. Hirano delivers. Fastball just misses down. It's going to be ball 4. And now Aguiar is aboard with a walk. It advances Tonosaki over to second. And one would have to think that there's going to be a pinch runner for Aguiar here. And they'll bring up the hero of the Lions in Takia Nakamura. And while we have Takia Nakamura, the pitching coach Hirai has come out to the mound to talk to his right-hander Hirano. The Buffaloes are trying to stop the skid. Try to close this one out here. So the conference on the mound is over, and Hirano has reached for the rosin bag. He gets rid of that. Now he has to get ready to go back to work again. 15 pitches already here for the right-hander in the 9th inning. He was able to retire the first 2 batters, a strikeout to Kaneko and a ground out to Cordero. And then back a single by Tonosaki and a walk to Aguiar. He's got runners at first and second. With Takia Nakamura striding to the plate. Nakamura tonight is 0 for 3. He has struck out, he's popped the first, and he has flown out to right. Here's the pitch. Fastball down, and the count is 1-0 to Nakamura. The Lion fans are in full force now. They're down to their final out. They've extended a couple of batters already here. Right-hander Nakamura waiting here at the plate. As Hirano works himself to the set. Here comes the pitch. Fastball swung on, grounded over to third. Nice play by Mune. He throws to first, and that is going to do it. That is your ball game. As Takia Nakamura grounds out 5-3 to end the game. And if you guys are a fan of the Buffaloes, and if you like that score, you guys have just picked up yourself a victory as well. No runs in the inning. There was a hit. There was no errors. There were 2 runners left aboard. Your final score was the Orix Buffaloes 2 and the Saitama Seibu Lions 1. Hang tight, everybody. We'll come back and give you the recap. Appreciate you guys for being here. Don't forget to hit the like. Don't forget to bookmark and subscribe, as we'll be back on again this weekend for more NPB baseball. Appreciate you guys for hanging out with us. We'll be back here in just a couple moments. First of all, I want to give thanks to everybody who popped in here tonight to listen to the call between the Buffaloes and the Lions. We appreciate all the excitement and everybody for being here tonight with us. Your final score, as we give you the recap here, was 2-1 for the Buffaloes. Scoring got going in the third inning when it was a leadoff walk to Ryo Adachi. He advanced to second on a pass ball and then was sacrificed to third by Ryo Watanabe. And up stepped Kenya Wakatsuki, and he had a deep fly ball to right field that brought home Adachi with the first run of the game, and the score was 1-0. The Buffaloes added to their lead in the sixth inning when it was a leadoff double by Masahiro Nishino. And after a Ryoma Nishikawa strikeout and a lineout by Leandro Cedeno, up stepped Tomoya Mori, and he hit a single into right field that brought home the runner Nishino with the second run of the ball game. The Lions got one back in their half of the seventh inning. With one out, Shuta Tonosaki stepped up and he deposited a ball into the left field seats. That cut the score to 2-1. And that was your final score, and that's how it ended. The win tonight goes to Kohei Uzuma. That's his first win of the year for the Buffaloes. It stopped their 4-game losing streak. The loss in this one here tonight will be tagged to Bo Takahashi. He drops to 0-1. He did fairly well tonight, only walked a couple of batters as we felt that could be an issue. And as you know it, that's one of the runs was because of the base on balls, and that played a part in this one here. Once again, everybody, we really appreciate everybody for stopping in here tonight, whether you listen live or on delay. Great audience, great atmosphere tonight. And we thank you guys for kindly checking in on the Last Raps Baseball YouTube channel. Don't forget, bookmark the channel, and we will be back on again this weekend with all the action. It'll be 10 o'clock games Pacific time on Saturday and Sunday, or Friday and Saturday in North America. And we will probably look to do one at 2 in the morning tomorrow. Have a great night, everybody. We'll see you soon.